Joining us to break down all of this and to explain to us where they are going from here is Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo. He is a lawyer, politician, public affairs analyst, columnist, and chieftain of the ADC. Member of the National Working Committee of the ADC. Thank you so much for being with us on the program.
I appreciate, and good morning to Nigerians and from wherever part of the world you're watching.
Everyone looking at that convention that held yesterday. Forget the optics. Everyone said it was hot. They were robbed. If someone here lost her phone there yesterday, forget all of the optics. At its core, some say that this convention was an exercise in futility. What do you make of that thought process, considering how loyal you are to this party?
Well, first of all, let me say that we have the bragging right to say that we conducted one of the most peaceful conventions that has ever been held in this country within the short while that we had, under intense blackmail, under intense intimidation and manipulation. The theme of the convention is very clear. So Nigeria will work for freedom, for security, and for prosperity. I don't need to tell any Nigerian now that Nigeria is not working. I just heard you talk about Plateau. You can imagine a president who went to Plateau, and rather than going to condole with the victims, he stayed at the airport and told the victim to come and condole with him. That's sorry, he is in a nation where there is no light. A president is bemoaning lack of electricity. This same president was one who told Nigerians that if he did not provide electricity, let him be voted out. And right there, he told them, of course, incompetently, that it will never happen again. I told Nigerians that Tinubu is incapable of giving security. It is not just that there's no security. He is incapable of doing it. Before he left the plateau, series of deaths immediately followed his empty declaration and empty boast, which Agbeni Rauf Aregoshola has rightly described in our convention, that renewed hope is a scam. I told Nigeria from the one that this is renewed hopelessness, so that Nigeria may work for, for security. One major important point in our theme of this convention, because without security, there is nothing you can do. We're having security challenges all over Nigeria. In Borno State, our armed forces are being killed and massacred. As I talk to you, insecurity is a daily occurrence. So you don't need last week to refer to the data of failure of this government. Without security, any other thing cannot come into shape. Let's talk about freedom. And as our convention comes in, we are not having crisis in ADC.
You're not.
What we have, according to MBA, not me, is legal maneuvering, institutional capture, and misuse of judicial authority to weaken our democratic space. That was why NBA won, that the courts should be arbiters of justice, not instruments of political advantage. They want that INEC should be neutral, not participant in political contests. So you are dealing with a system that is skewed against institutional capture by Tinubu and his incompetent and corrupt aides, not by my words.
So you're saying that
they describe them as kakistocrats. We do not have any crisis whatsoever.
Everything is fine in the ADC.
Beautiful.
What are all these factions about? Mark Aregoshola faction, Nafi Bala, and then Kachiko and Temito. But there's a new one now. That's the new one. What's all these factions about if everything is fine in the ADC?
Thank you for that. If you guys in the media are not careful, one day Kila will come and declare herself the national chairman of ADC. And then the media will start calling her a factional chairman.
They are giving reasons.
Yes.
They are giving reasons.
No. Reasons does not make you the chairman. What makes you chairman is the rules and constitution of a political party. If I'm here and I declare myself the president of Nigeria, would you be bold enough to call me factional president?
Yes.
Because, no, you will not.
I'm giving you the reasons.
No, what makes somebody president is the constitutional provisions of the process you must fulfill to become president, not the reasons of incompetence and corruption that the person is doing in office. Now, let me tell you why I say there's no faction. A man resigned his post called Nafi Bala. He was with me, not far away, sitting by my side when we unveiled the ADC and the new executive, July 2nd. By July 29, the party officially dissolved itself, as in the leadership, and ratified by the INEC, the leadership of David Mark and the rest. And then this same man, after he has been used as agent of the ruling party, that is what the MDA called legal maneuvering. And then you come and say it's a faction. Let me ask you, can one person become a faction?
He has supporters. The last time we saw
Let me tell you what
Kila,
happened
he
in
was
Enugu State
protesting.
Enugu State
He was
House of Assembly
protesting,
one
and I
time
saw
ago.
the lawmaker from the ADC standing
Good.
next to him. I saw Leke Abejide standing next to him.
God bless you. You're talking about the expelled lawmaker. I can tell you that by virtue of our convention yesterday, these men are expelled. You know, impunity has become so nauseating in Nigeria that a man can boldly come out and say he's supporting the presidential candidate of another party and still boldly claim he's a member of that party. Isn't it shameful? How can he be a member of ADC and then he is supporting the presidential candidate of APC? Do you think this is PDP? No. Do you think this is LP? This is ADC. And discipline is our watchword and our foundation. You are found doing any anti-party in ADC, you are gone. And these men are gone, frustrated political jobbers, scavengers, trying to feed on the rotten crumbs that fall from Tinubu.
They're calling it the same thing. They say people came in from the back door, maybe at least
Right.
saying that people came in from the back door, took over a structure that wasn't yours, kicked them out as though they were not there, and saying that you were illegal. And it's not now. Maybe not saying it now. They've been saying it since the beginning of this whole situation.
You're talking about an unfortunate presidential candidate who continually scores less than 100,000 in presidential contests that came into a party too the time and he was given the presidential ticket to contest for the presidency of the party. So which door did he?
Okay.
Yes.
But there's also the fact that
that
Atiku has been suspended this ADC in his state. The troubles in the ADC are not, sir.
There is none. And you can quote
that suspension from his ward. You don't think it's
I said there is none. ADC has a constitution. We are not clowns in ADC. Please. Those people are not recognized by ADC.
Okay, the ones that are suspended.
There was something I told you. When I came here, they were saying we're dead on our. I said, no. You cannot abort a child that's already born. But I reminded people, I said, on the day political calculation to acquire power starts in ADC, then you begin to see elements emerge. Why do you think these people are just coming? When Kwakwanso, when Atiku Abubakar, when Peter Obi are now in one basket? These are the three persons that divided their votes that were taken away. Why do you think it is now that it's happening? That is legal maneuvering.
There's also the fact that your convention yesterday was headed by people who have been delisted by INEC.
No.
California homeowners, SMUD is paying up to $10,000 to help you take control of your power. Electric bills in California are among the highest.
You see, who made INEC?
By INEC.
No, you see, who made INEC a judge and a king over political parties? And now let me go into the nitty-gritty of the law. And this is the first time I'm going to break down the Court of Appeal judgment for you to see the perfidy that is in the lying doash and victory that shot APC. Remember, he denied it.
He said it's not him.
That's what he was saying.
He said it's not him.
Remember that the press statement that he made was first of all released by presidential aides of Tinubu. Let him go and say that for him. But let me break down the Court of Appeal judgment for you to understand what I'm talking about. The Court of Appeal, first and foremost, declined jurisdiction because they said the leave was not sought. In law, anytime a court declines jurisdiction in an issue, the court has no power to make any order or judgment that affects the interest of a party. So which order is he talking about? Which judgment? Because there is no judgment by the Court of Appeal. That's why they say return to the trial court. The Court of Appeal, he said they made reservatory orders. Sorry, I am disappointed that a professor of law and a civil advocate should be saying that. Reservatory orders in law are made restatement of procedural legal principles, which even without that mention, those orders are to be obeyed. Anytime a case is in court, no party is expected to do anything that will adjust the status quo of any party. And anytime a case is in the court, you are not expected to do anything that will foist a federal company on the court. Anytime that a case is in court, you're expected to obey all those things. So the Court of Appeal said maintain status quo. The Court of Appeal did not say revert to the status quo. That's an admission by the Court of Appeal that nobody has done anything prior to that to affect his own status quo. Now, INEC as a party there, the Court of Appeal said parties. Did you hear the Court of Appeal say the appellant should do this, the respondent should do this? Did you hear any order directed at INEC? So how did INEC get the order he is saying he implemented? And let me tell you now.
Yes.
Are you aware that the judgment in the trial court was in favor of David Mark? That is what the Court of Appeal said.
Okay.
Are you aware that David Mark and INEC, we are not parties to the trial in the trial court? Are you aware? Because there's an expert motion.
Ayo, so that we can have a balanced conversation on this. Ayo, please go ahead.
Well, thank you, Kila. Mr. Okoko, I like the energy with which you have been, taking this conversation on. But, there's another vexed issue. And I think this is underscored by the fact that when Kila asked you how the ADC convention went, you took on the APC. So I'm wondering, are you part of those people who say that the APC is responsible for the intra-party discord among some political parties?
I am one of those people that say APC is absolutely responsible for the internal crises that are going on in political parties. But I want to disagree with you. When they asked me about the Congress, I started talking about APC. There's nothing to talk about APC except the flow of tears and blood in Nigeria. I remember telling her about the theme of our convention. I remember telling her that despite all the shenanigans, they couldn't give us public institution so for us to carry out our convention. That is APC doing its hatchet job. For the first time in Nigerian history, despite provisions in the law, a party was denied any public institution to carry out its function. For the first time in Nigeria, even the private guardian that we hired, they say we should not use it because they have an instruction that if we do, their certificate of occupants will be revoked. You know, we entered that place and the AC, they found they were cut off. We were almost roasting. And that tells me about the resilience. That tells me about the determination of ADC members and Nigerians in general to take away this government. No matter what we are going to pass through, they took us through the heat and we were rejoicing. They took us through evil and we are receiving good because the Lord is our strength. So it is not a matter of, guesswork. No, the APC wants to make sure that Tinubu does not have any contest in 2027, and they have failed because even MBA has recognized that that is what they want to do, institutional capture. So I am one of the persons that will tell you that democracy is being weakened by the nefarious activities of APC and its aides. Like I said, I was talking about the Court of Appeal judgment. How does INEC come in to interpret a Court of Appeal judgment that is non-existent? And then how can INEC interpret it to mean that the status quo of a party will now be adjusted before the judgment of the court? Because what was the status quo of INEC itself that is a party to the suit? The status quo is that INEC on its own voluntarily recognized the leadership of David Mark. They were there in July 29 of the NEC meeting of ADC that dissolved itself and recognized David Mark, and it was on the strength of that they recognized us in their portal. That is the status quo of INEC. So how can INEC on its own interpret the Court of Appeal judgment to mean that our leaders will no longer be recognized in its portal, which God said so? Because like I told you, the Court of Appeal declined jurisdiction. So the Court of Appeal couldn't have made any order that affects the status of any party, which God said so, and which God...
One of the things that I've always found very exciting about the legal profession is that it always depends on the side of the pendulum that you are. It always depends on what angle of a conversation that you are defending. So that's the perspective that I'm taking to the comments that you're making. But back to the question that I asked, Mr.
Yes,
just a second.
Right. Because
you've been. I'm coming. We'll come back to that. I'm more interested in the fact that, I mean, you are not a stranger in this country. You've been long enough in this country to know that every government in authority since 1999 has always been under the attack of opposition parties. Always been. In fact, I think it was the 2003 or 2007 elections. There was a rumor then that the INEC chairman, Professor Morrissey, was calculatively working against the governorship candidate of Lagos, of the PDP governorship candidate of Lagos at the time, in the person of Mr. Jimmy Agbaje, so much so that people were alluding that it was the INEC chairman that was attacking him and not the state doing anything against him. Now, that's on the one hand. On the other hand, when you say that the APC is the one responsible for the intra-party affairs or discord in political parties, I'm wondering, aren't the people in those political parties old enough to think by themselves or think for themselves? Why would you blame me if there is a discord in your home? How does that make, please help us make it make sense.
Right. Thank you very much. First of all, what I'm saying is pure restatement of the position of the law. Section 82, subsection 1, and subsection 6 made it clear that once you give notice, 1 day's notice to INEC, your job is done as a political party for your congresses, convention, and primaries. And it is only invalidated if the notice is not given. Now, section 83, subsection 5, said no court shall have jurisdiction to entertain any matter that affects the internal affairs of political party. And then he said, in negation, and that is 83.6, in negation of this, if anybody goes against this, no court shall give any ex parte or interlocutory injunction regarding internal affairs. You should shift everything to final judgment. And then he's telling you that any lawyer, any court that does it, then that lawyer will be fined 10 million naira. That political party will be fined 10 million naira. So I want you to understand that the issue of internal affairs of the political party is no longer just based on decided cases. It is now codified. When a ruling party is abusing those institutions, those other arms of government, to intimidate and manipulate the opposition party, that is where they are responsible. Like I said, how can you say that a man who resigned his post voluntarily was a party to all the formation of the new executive will now turn back and go to the court? And you're telling me, the court that gave no decision, that INEC itself is now being used to destroy the party. Let me give you the timelines. The judgment of the Court of Appeal came out 12th of March 2026. The lawyers to the Nafiu Bala wrote their first letter 16th, and INEC did not look at that letter at all because they know it was useless. They wrote another letter on the 25th, and we got the intel that INEC chairman was told to resign if he does not do it. I was here in this studio to say, tell Nigerians, before INEC did it, this is what is going on. If anything happens, it is APC instructing Amopito. And you know what? Before the end of that day, Amopito did exactly what we said he was going to do. So why did he wait? INEC was a party to the suit. Why did he wait from 12th of March if that was his own interpretation of the judgment? Why did he wait 16th, then on the 25th? Why did we not alert Nigerians that look at what Amopito is planning to do? Because before then, APC has not brought its power to bear on him that he must do this or he will resign. Why did he have to wait? I told you that some of the press releases he's doing, that APC, Tinubu's aides, brought them out to the public even before INEC published it. What other evidence do you want me to give? So it's a different thing that you're having internal crisis. I'll be the first to tell you that if we're having internal crisis, we're having internal crisis. Trust me on that. But it's a different thing that a ruling government is using the apparatus of power, the monopoly of the force that it has, to intimidate and manipulate the opponent, to weaken democracy and destroy democracy before 2027. So that is why I'm telling you that it is APC that is dominant. And if they don't stop this, democracy will die in their hands. Also, Nigerians cannot survive the second tenure of Tinubu because he is a very incompetent leader.
Now, if you say that, you have proof that the INEC chairman did something that he was not supposed to do, and you are not the first person to say that. Is there any planned legal action against the INEC chairman as a result of that by the ADC?
I can tell you that INEC chairman that figuratively is wearing Tinubu's cap, I can tell you he will not come out of this. Paragraph F14, 2A, of Part 1 of the third schedule of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear. Before a person will be a member of the commission, he has to be a person who is non-partisan and who has unquestionable integrity. So the issue here is not whether he has integrity or not. The issue is his integrity questionable? The answer is yes, even to who is questioning his integrity. Because if a professor of law who claims to be a son will be interpreting the judgment of a court that is non-existent, then he is a man that has questionable integrity. And imagine a Joash Amopito telling you that it's a parody account. Who knew Joash Amopito before he became INEC chairman? And I've never heard of the name. So who will go and build parody accounts in his name? So do what with it? One professor that is teaching in the university, what are you doing with it? And he's telling you that it was a parody account, sharing the same telephone number, sharing the same email. That man is a transparent liar. So what I'm trying to tell you is very simple. We are not having any crisis in ADC. Nafiu Bala cannot be a faction. One person cannot be a faction.
There are three factions.
There are people you name, excuse me, there are people you name. We are all there. There are some state chairman of the party. We are all the part of the NEC that dissolved themselves and ratified David Mack's leadership.
So your position is that what resolutions
they say they are under maybe catch or whatever his name. Even the trial court had thrown away his case, dismissed it, ended it.
It's important to know that this case.
So what are you talking as in fashion?
We're waiting for the rulings of the court on this particular matter, and it is very disappointing that every time when it comes to internal crisis of a political party, at some point we have to wait for the courts to interpret.
And it ought not to be.
We have to now understand what status quo antebellum means in this particular matter.
Status quo antebellum is very clear.
You've given your explanation of that, but as we wrap up, the resolutions that we reached at the convention yesterday.
The resolution is that those bad eggs are expelled.
That was all the convention was about.
No. we had the ratification of all our processes.
Okay.
You know, every decision taken by the INEC has to be ratified by the National Convention. The David Mark executive, now of which I am part of, they have now been ratified by the National Convention. Our policies and manifestos ratified by the National Convention. Our amended constitution ratified by the National Convention through popular voice vote and also through voting.
So the fact that they've been delisted by INEC doesn't make this
we have not been delisted.
Okay.
INEC corruptly and incompetently de-recognized.
So the recognition by INEC doesn't make this an exercise in futility.
No. Is INEC a court of law?
Okay.
There is no court. You know, when people say PDP, when they say Zamfara, when they say Rivers, no. There was an existing court order that says you should not do the primary. There's no existing court order that says you should not do convention and congress.
In your choice,
by the Electoral Act 2006,
yes,
there cannot be, because you cannot make any interim or interlocutory injunction against internal affairs.
Yesterday on Politics Today, we had Omoye.
Oh, really? It's cracking. Is it still cracking?
Do you have $100?
Not cracking on
because
my
I'm looking
end.
for 2,000
Can you
believers who are
confirm?
willing to trade $100.
I don't know.
Who do you feel should be presidential candidate? And right, he said, Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate, Peter Obi, vice presidential candidate. So give us yours.
I have very great respect for all our aspirants. If you watch their speeches yesterday, you will see that they are all working towards removing this incompetent government. And any of them will be fit enough to take away Tinubu. We are going to organize free and fair primary election. And whoever emerges, ABC as a party will support that person. So I respect Dele Mahmood's choice, just like I respect other people within the party that have their own choices. I am a member of the NWC. My job is to provide level playing field for all the aspirants to contest for their position. Whoever wins, we will support the person.
Regardless of whether Peter Obi leaves the party or not. Because there are always people out there that he might leave.
Do you want to come out and maybe come
will now be a mobile spotter? No, anybody, any presidential aspirant in ADC, seeing what everybody is going through in ADC, that leaves ADC for another party. One, he's a mobile spotter. Then two, he is working for Tinubu. Because if all the coalition leaders are facing through all this crisis, even with the unity, then what do you think one person can do going out? Anybody that goes out of the coalition is compromised and is working for Tinubu, whoever that person is.
Lawyer and politician, public affairs analyst, columnist, and chieftain. I will keep saying that.
Under scrutiny and intense attention, the early permutations ahead of 2027 general election will begin to take shape now, as on the center stage in the conversation is a provocative proposition by media entrepreneur Dele Momodu suggesting a possible Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi joint ticket. A move some analysts say could reshape the electoral map, while others argue it raises more questions than answers about ideology, leadership, and political trust. At the same time, the African Democratic Congress is grappling with an internal leadership crisis. Now, the subject of legal contestation, raising concerns about party stability and its readiness as a potential coalition platform, and beyond the permutations and power play, a critical question remains: can Nigeria's fragmented opposition truly unite, or will competing ambitions once again define the road to 2027? Joining me now is Alhaji Yunusa Panko, the national coordinator of the Obidient movement and a close associate of the former presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. Thanks so much, Alhaji Yunusa Panko. It's good to see you. Thanks so much indeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's been a while. How's it been yesterday with your convention?
Oh, wonderfully well. It's amazing the kind of way in which people turn out, even though there were challenges as regard to power supply. But do you see the level of these men, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Alhaji Konkosu, Alhaji Tambuwal, His Excellency Rotimi Amechi, and overall, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, all of them were inside that particular room, and they mobilized their people, even sweating. But yet, the sweat was that of commitment to the Nigerian country as an entity, trying to get the soul of the country. So I was particularly amazed because from all my years of being in politics, I've never seen people coming together, especially His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, who have always maintained dexterity and making competitive Democrats. Meaning that you will never see His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi abusing anybody. And you've never seen him even owning a debt. Neither did you see him segregating. In all of that, he still mingled with all of his colleagues in order to fight for the soul of the country.
And you're a very experienced politician. You've been on the ballot as a presidential candidate of the National Conscience Party.
Correct.
So you know, you understand, you know the intrigues, and you've also worked closely with Mr. Peter Obi. But with the ADC embroidering all this leadership issue and the legal tussle, is it a viable platform for any serious coalition?
For any serious coalition, coming together of this gladiator give you a pathway to winning election. And I said it with all level of sincerity. Now, at the point in time in 2023, we were rolling a solo run. But today, there's a conglomerate of these particular individuals who want to work together. So I was amazed when you listen to the issue of, they said, status quo ante. So I consulted my lawyer, and then he told me what it means is that you return back to the situation where you were before any war. And in this case, Bala Nafiu did not take his case to court until on the 29th of September. After September, when David Mark was already handed over. They were handed over the leadership of the party to him and Aregbesola. So within this month, they've already been acting. Then he took his own case to court in September. Yes, if I'm not making a mistake, yes, it took his court to September 2nd. And that means that going back to status quo ante, meaning that when David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola were in position. So there is no any kind of foul play, or even the court that you were talking about a while ago, saying that they went back to status quo ante. So the people who were in position, who wrote to INEC, was so, and in the real sense of it, I'm sure that the court is referring to, and the court says, do nothing until we resolve this matter, because the court order is saying, if you go ahead court, and if everything goes on, the rest, which is the subject matter, is going to be affected. So hold everyone until you determine the matter. And the court said, don't do anything, because part of the court order is not only to return to status quo, it's saying hold on. But as it is right now, it does look like more confusion than direction. Let me ask you, frankly speaking, now, so invariably from yesterday, from your own point of view, there's no more caretaker committee. It's now a national working committee. Confirm. David Mark and Secretary Rauf Aregbesola. Confirm. And, and Nafi Bala and Lake Abejide, some of them were expelled, suspended from the party. Confirm. Yesterday, there was a motion move and they were expelled from the party. But INEC was not present there. That is what we need to clearly correct. Because the position of INEC was that they have a mandatory to be at that particular convention. Why they choose not to be, they are the ones that have run foul of the law. Okay, let me ask you, what lessons did Peter Obi and your movement take from the 2023 election that will shape your 2027 approach? Good. We identified that we needed to work very closely with the northern part. We needed to bring in more people. His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi needed to synergize with his brothers and sisters in the north, and which he did. Immediately after, that's why I've never seen, all the years today, I've never seen a politician who has kept the opposition on their toes, like His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. So gradually, he started mixing up with his people in the north, visiting them, being with them when they are doing their fasting period, celebrating with them when they are doing Salah period, celebrating with both Christian and Muslims. He didn't differ because we are Muslims and Christians. So has anything changed in who Peter Obi is in terms of his clout profile nationally across the Niger? Has anything changed? Is Peter Obi now seen with a broader on a broader perspective as a more unifying personality than he was saying in 2023? Obviously, yes, because when he came to my state in Kano, you could see the synergy within him and his engineer Rabiu Musa Fankosu. The kind of reception, we barely survived that particular mammoth crowd. It is Obi Kwankosu, Obi Kwankosu. The signage and the serenity of the sound showed you that there was a big move, a big shift from what it used to be in 2023 and 2026 to 2027. So I was elated. And this is the situation everywhere he goes in the north right now. What do you make of the proposition and the permutations by Mr. Dele Momodu, for example? Yesterday on the program, he says that the best opportunity or option for the ADC, if it's on the ballot, going into the 2027 election, is to have Atiku Abubakar and a Peter Obi paired on the ticket. Now, let me make reference to the statement of His Excellency Rotimi Amechi yesterday. He said, and he clearly said, that the party should make sure they choose the right candidate if they want to win election. Do you want to choose somebody who will win primaries and not win the elections? Or do you want to lose the election and only win the primaries? And also, the fact still remains that it's a southern presidency at the moment. It's a southern presidency. So it eliminates the Kwankwansos of this world, the Atiku Abubakars of this world, and positions Rotimi Amechi and Peter Obi. It's a southern presidency. And to make it easy for the party to win, zone it to the south and give the candidacy to the south. And you are sure of winning. Anything short of that will only bring you losing the election. And I'm saying this for every Nigerian to critically go and do his own independent poll. It clearly shows that. And the moment you saw that kind of euphoria and the love that was shown to Peter Obi and Kwankwaso, the Nigerian people have spoken. I can tell you for sure, if you have those two peers, with all due respect, so it's Peter Obi on the ballot with Kwankwaso as a vice. By 12 o'clock on the day of election, the election is over. Give me a moment. We'll be right back after this break, everyone.
What if you could claim a stake on what's set to be the biggest IPO ever, starting with just $500? Everybody's talking about Elon Musk's.
Our closing moment now, we can give Mr. Tanko an aid to Mr. Peter Obi and the national coordinator of the Obidient movement. What does the figure? Because there are those who say 6 point something million vote for Article, 6 point something million vote for Peter Obi, 1 million vote for
welcome.
So, would you rather go
Good to
for
see you,
a
Madam
potential
Luke.
13 million vote between Peter Obi and Article
Yeah.
and go for a
Very
potential 7
unfortunate.
million vote between
Yeah.
Peter Obi and Kwankwaso?
What you need to know
He
is that the
said,
figure has
Madam
been
Luke,
changed.
your prayers.
Yeah,
A
because
heavy
the
is
love
said
that
to
is
it.
being shown to these two personalities, with all due respect to others, it shows that there is a growing interest as regards to the
Exactly,
Nigerian
Madam
youth
Luke, our
wanting a
eyes are
credible election which usher in credible leadership and then good governance. And so they are very much in tune to that. And I say this with clarity and distinctity. I watch His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi sometimes when we travel out of the, going from Lagos down to the northern part. He looks at the north as a solution-driven economy for the country generally. And you will ask me, where is that? Agriculture. And you know that our people are dominant in agriculture. By the time you talk about the millions of Nigerians who are residing in all of the 19 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, turning them into a green opportunity where they can, it will subsidize and take care of what this one-legged economy that we have. And that is where his priority is. And they can give you 4 times what we are making in oil with no fear, no nothing, and just tilling the land. And he's trying to make sure that, okay, all of this land, he sees the land as a virgin land. Look at money. With all the respect, I say, look, this land is an evil man. You're always looking for how to make Nigeria. And that's why you look at somebody who can bring you prosperity, who can bring you credibility. And that's for me, as a northerner, I feel very elated.
So in 20 seconds, so that we can wrap up. Peter Obi, Kwankwaso is the best bet.
Sure bet. In fact, if you do permutation and you go bet, or they call them all bet on it. Bet on it, you are sure.
They can defeat
bet on it. It is done. By 12 noon, the election is over.
I like Mr. Tanko, who is an aide to Mr. Peter Obi and the national coordinator of the Obidient movement. Thanks so much indeed.
Thank you very much for having me. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much.
God bless Nigeria.
One person too proud, now so it be.
So with 2027 already in the horizon, the big question is whether the ADC can emerge as a credible, so whether internal divisions and legal battles will weaken its prospect. I'm now being joined tonight to get a closer look into one of the issues. One of the key stakeholders, although suspended from his home state, the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Mr. Babachir Lawal, who is live for us here. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Sean.
You've been suspended by the party from Adamawa, your home state.
Did you hear my response to it? You know, these young boys, when they gather somewhere under a tree and smoke Igbo, they begin to hallucinate. Some of them begin to imagine they are the current president of Nigeria. But you never can tell.
But these are executives of the party.
They are not executives. So they just woke up one morning and decided that they are executives of the party. They are not even, the man who read the communique was not even a party member. We are aware that he was dismissed from APC some time back. And so he's free to make all sorts of nonsense. He can call himself the president for all we care, which he is not and never will be. So they are not even members of the party.
I mean, it doesn't look like as a chieftain of the ADC that you have a good hold on the structure and on what is going on as far as ADC is concerned, even in your home state, not to talk about the national level.
Sure, you just said I'm a suspended member of the party. You are free to have that opinion. I don't know what has entered your head that you think I'm suspended. Myself and...
So they are your people from Adamawa State. They're the ones who said they're suspended.
Yeah, you can suspend me from wherever state. Are you Kwara? You can decide to suspend me from Kwara.
But not I'm not to your party. They are your party members.
Those people are not in the party. That boy is not in.
You have a hold as a leader in your party.
If you're looking for a midnight snack but worried about gaining weight, try these crispy little fish. They're delicious, super.
We are not only having hold in our party in the state, but in the federal. We are senior members of this party who were involved in the formation of this party from the very beginning, from the day one. We were involved in it. We nurtured it to this stage in which some charlatans can wake up and wear agbada and gather some pressmen and say they've suspended us.
Is it worrisome for you that these kind of things are happening in your party, right? And how do you convince those whom you're trying to say that you want to lead a party and you want to lead a nation, yet you're having all of this drama around your party and its internal politics?
You want to give me a break? We are about 200 and something million Nigerians from all walks of life, from all backgrounds. And you cannot speak for everybody's character or bringing. You cannot speak for how he was brought up by his parents. You cannot speak of which school he went to, what culture he has imbibed, what moral bringing he is brought up in. You cannot speak for everybody. And when they say democracy, every Tom, Dick, Harry thinks that he can practice democracy in a manner that best suits him, in a manner that suits whatever it is that is roaming in his head at that particular time. You cannot speak for everybody.
But you heard also what Dumebi Kachuku, that was the presidential candidate.
Dumebi Kachuku was a presidential candidate, I understand, in 2023. I have the last convention that was held, I think, by the party in 2022 expelled him. If I knew you asked me this question, I would have brought the report of the convention committee, which I had that expelled Dumebi. So he's free to, he's a contractor. Dumebi is an oil industry participant, and he's only doing more contracts so he can get more contracts from NNPC.
Oh, that's the reason you think he's opposing those whom
that's the reason
some of whom they describe as hijackers.
No, wait, that's the reason he's doing this for APC.
Oh, he's working for APC?
Definitely.
Do you have evidence to that effect?
His evidence is what he just said.
That he's working for APC?
That's the evidence, trying to destroy the opposition.
Oh,
what evidence do you need when somebody of that status comes and starts peddling falsehood on the national television? And then people go there and listen.
How would you describe the outcome of yesterday's convention?
It couldn't be better than yesterday's convention.
So it was a success?
Extremely. In spite of all the strenuous efforts that the government did to frustrate that convention, it was very successful.
I mean, but if you say that was a success, critics will say it violated internal processes and legality. Was this convention truly legitimate in your own view?
I'm not a lawyer. I wish you had called lawyers to hear to this, but as a member of the National Working Committee, we had called our legal advisors, eminent people, to advise us on the course of action after whatever. The court, the appeal court said something. What did you say? The court, they said it.
Status quo antebellum. That's what they said.
Antebellum means status quo. Status quo means by our interpretation, by the interpretation of our lawyers, very senior lawyers in the party and consultants we hired for that purpose. They advised that that means that David Mark's position as the chairman of the party is validated. And if his position is validated, everything he does thereafter is also valid. But INEC, maybe it's an appeal court over an appeal court, decided to interpret what the appeal court said. And, but we don't listen to INEC. They are not the appeal court. They are not the Supreme Court. They are not even the High Court. So INEC can say whatever.
It does look like your party has a very big grouse and a lot of grievance against INEC. And that's going to be the umpire in this election.
If somebody tries to kill you and tries to slit your neck, you want to become his friend? Is that what you are saying? Somebody would
Are you comfortable going to this election with the INEC? Because either you like it or not, if you're going to be on the ballot, this is the commission.
We are going to this election, whatever INEC does, whatever INEC says, we are going to participate in this election.
You are not recognized.
Wait now, INEC is not Nigeria alone now. We have 200 and something million Nigerians. They are going to participate in this election in which we will be on the ballot. Whatever INEC decides to do on behalf of their client, APC, that's their own. Nigerians will decide.
So you are alleging that INEC is working with the APC. That's what you are inferring.
Look, I like to do, we are Nigerians. Some people ask us, we are Nigerians. In this ADC, there are vice presidents, there are secretaries to the government, there are Senate presidents, there are Senate leaders, there are former governors, all of us in that party who know how governments work, who have access to what government does, and we have information that the average Nigerian might not be able to have, or does not have. We are all Nigerians. We have brothers in this government, we have relations, we have brothers, we have enemies, and we have good people, we have bad people. It's just that the preponderance of the bad people overshadows the preponderance of good people. But there are Nigerians in this government that stand for the truth, and they oppose what their governments try to do, and they tell us. And we know.
So you know what is the internal workings of this government and the APC?
Are they from mass? Are they in mass?
What are you hearing that they are planning, if you know?
They want a one-party system. Look, it's very clear. Every Nigerian understands that this government cannot afford to go to an election in a free and fair manner because they will lose woefully. I mean, what I mean woefully, it's like Judas Iscariot when he betrayed Jesus, he fell and his stomach burst. That's the way they will lose. That's the way
they have a data or they have an opinion poll that suggests what you're saying.
Of course we have, but it's not for us to, channels can conduct their own. We've done our own. We know the scenario out there. We know what people are saying. We go out, they tell us, they talk to us, they encourage us, they contribute to what we are doing. And
did your poll suggest the party or a candidate for your party?
See, you cannot, the Constitution of Nigeria doesn't allow you to contest as an independent candidate. So you are the candidate of your party. So it's two things. Either your party is beyond redemption, and therefore they present a candidate that is beyond redemption, and that is the same thing, two sides of a coin. Both are bad. In this government, in this case, both the party and the candidates they intend to sponsor are bad.
Best case scenario for your party, I mean, because I know that Bola Tinubu was your friend, and in this sense, you are enemies at war, because politically speaking, you are on the other side of the divide. And by all means, you're so angry that you want him out of that power so badly. But with what is going on, what is the best case scenario for the ADC?
So I'd like to protest,
in terms of candidate?
I would like to protest the fixation of Bola Tinubu as my friend. I keep telling you here, there's a saying that with a friend like this, you don't need an enemy. There are some friends that are better off with an enemy. I think I find myself in this position right now in the context of what Nigeria is going through, in the context of what the country as an entity, as a creation by God is going through. I find myself unable to say find any good thing about Bola from the moment he took over going forward. Maybe prior, yes. But from the moment he took over going forward, he seems to have been consumed by a satanic desire to destroy this country.
Just because he couldn't make you vice president?
No, I never wanted to ask him. If he tells the truth, sometimes he's not a provider of truth, but if he does tell the truth, he'll tell you, I never, nobody alive never tell you I wanted to be vice president or anything. Nobody.
But you couldn't have your way.
Which way?
How you wanted his vice to come.
Yes.
That is your grouse.
No, it's not my grouse.
You didn't have your way?
I keep on telling you, I don't know what you have. You have an issue with not listening or
not agreeing with you.
No, not remembering what we discussed here. Okay. I have an issue with this, memory issues.
I'm an old man.
No,
not as old as you.
Not older than me, but
I don't have dementia.
I still remember. My issue with him is the Muslim ticket is an issue of injustice to me. It is an issue of injustice. So, and not only that, it is the way he himself portrayed the reason why he needed to do that. He implied that of all the millions and millions of Christians in the North, none is good enough to be a vice president. I resented that. I found it. I told you here, if you enter every office in Nigeria today, even today, the average Nigerian Christian Northerner has one complaint to make about it. There's none that hasn't faced one form of persecution, one form of denial of privileges or rights alive in this country. Whatever you must have gone to, the trail of discrimination you have in your wake is so terrible.
So if the president makes a Christian is running it in 2027, you will reconcile with him, if that is your grouse?
Well, since he made the Muslim ticket in 2023, we have seen what has happened. We have seen that probably if you had listened to me, the killings that are going on, the pogrom that is going on. So various different categories of killings, infanticides, what do they call it? Call it to me. I mean, so many things are going on that are not separate from the impression that they had created by denigrating certain section of the community. It's the impression that they has created that has empowered everybody who has an AK-45 rifle and go on and start killing.
So is it fair that you are attributing or blaming the president for insecurity and the killings in the North?
Okay, who should we blame? We blame Satan?
But you are saying categorically that the decision of the president to pair with another Muslim on the ticket and the argument, is the root cause of this.
What he did was, after he did that, he now engineered the Islamic community, especially the imams, to go on preaching and instigating their followers to vote for him as being the righteous thing to do. And not everybody is intellectually sound. Not everybody can attribute, can analyze issues. I told you a story here once. When in my farm some years back, the two Fulani men pushing their cows into my farm. And when we accosted them, they told us that, do you think that we are here without approval from somebody? This is our government. And we can do whatever we want, including pushing our cows into our farm. You won't believe that this thing happened while I was SGF. And why was they saying that? Because their perception at that level is that because Buhari is a Fulani man, or was a Fulani man, and so they can do anything they like, they have protection. And truly, sometimes when Fulani men enter your farm and they eat up your crops. The next thing you hear is one emir from somewhere is phoning you, begging you to release them. These are the issues that such things create.
But I mean, what difference will it make? Because you are saying that the only reason why this country will move forward, from your own perspective and argument, is if Bola Tinubu and the APC are out of power.
The interview question that decides everything. What AI tools do you use?
That's your argument, right?
We cannot.
What is guaranteed?
Not out of power. First of all, we know this government is bad, extremely bad. This government.
There's no good at all in this government.
No
from
good
your
at
own
all.
point of view. But that's your own argument, anyways.
So who am I
this government has
the argument before you?
No, what I'm saying is that against the fact that this government is putting forward, economically speaking, and the effort they are making in other aspects, they will say they have done a lot of good. And in fact, that they've pushed this country into the right direction. But you don't see any good.
Look at this man. Look at you, Sheon. I'm sure coming here, you must have seen how from the day Bola Tinubu took over to today, the most senior standard of living fall. You must have seen that the salary they pay here can buy you nothing. You must have seen that the children at school fees, so actually you stress yourself to be able to buy. You can come on television and say what you want to say because you're a journalist, probably because it's your duty to attempt to be fair, but deep down, you know that this government has brought your standard of living down, has made your insecurity more insecure. Yep. What have you got to say for this government?
You agree with the Arab Consultative Forum when they say this country has drifted into a total state of war?
Sean, the young man had a military background. By the time a brigadier, a general is killed in a battlefield, it is not a skirmish, it's not insurgents, it's not terrorism, it is war. By the time you find that the formation of the Nigerian army in addressing these people is such that a general must lead the fight, to the extent that he's killed, it's nothing but war. That is war.
How do we finish this war? How do we rescue our nation? This is about our nation.
First of all,
innocent Nigerian like you.
Yeah, the man, the other man, I don't know what to call him. The Senate President?
Senate President Godswill Akpabio.
That is his name. He says in one of these things, I just not coming here, that he said after the election, the
security will
go. Such a buffoonery talk. What do you use? I wish I would check the dictionary before I came here for that one. What an idiotic thing to say. If you kill me today, and
hey, Natu, welcome. A long time, sis. Good to see you.
If I'm dead by then. The people are dying 200, 500. They kill a general at the home front. And then you say insecurity for who? For those that...
Natu, you see your friend interview. Buba Galadima Pikin. Oh my God, I said I was going to bring the interview here. I didn't line it up, but maybe another time just for us to laugh. You watch him?
Managed to survive. So we celebrate that. What are those that have been killed?
Mr. Lawal, I ask you, does the ADC have solution to the problems of this country?
Look, first thing first, we have the solution. We know we have the solution. The caliber of people we have in that party and the way we are running our democracy in our party is so that we believe we have the solution to the problem. But first thing first, stop this government from continuing with what they have started. What they started.
That's your first agenda.
First agenda is to stop this government from continuing with what they started.
How would you do that?
Stop them from winning the election.
How do you do that? We have a capacity. They have 31 state governors.
31 state governors that are running away from the FCC. Look, I was watching. I didn't go home for the congresses, but I've never seen the way people turn out for ADC congresses, for congresses like that. In times past, before you even get them to come out to the world to vote, you must send vehicles to bring them, you must give them something with which to eat, you must give them money to go back. These days, they turn out en masse, unsupported. They just come out. Nigerians just come out. It was like a carnival. And they did it peacefully. There was no crumple. There was, mercifully, there's no even story of anybody dying in an accident on their way back to there. So Nigerians are eager. I watched the one of Sokoto. I didn't know how they managed. It was thousands of people crammed into a stadium to do what? To elect officials for the party.
Is that number convincing enough to be able to win a general election?
That is indicative.
What if the ABC and as David Mark led is not able to be on the ballot? What happens?
We'll be on the ballot. There's no way.
They're in court. Several cases in court.
Those judges, maybe they're coming from heaven. They are not Nigerians. They don't feel what they are feeling. Their children don't tell them what they are feeling.
So you're sure that the case will go in your favor?
We are very, very sure. as long as these judges are
enough, give
Nigerians,
him appointment. Her head too
and
correct.
they know the law,
Like a
and I
papa.
believe they do, the cases will go in our favor.
Do you agree also with the notion that Atiku Peter Obi pairing is the right pairing to be able to defeat Bola Tinubu and the APC?
Now, typical of you are trying to defeat for me. As a member of the National Working Committee, I might have my own preferences, but at this time, my duty is to create an environment in which all our aspirants will feel that free and fair field where they can compete. Whoever wins the election, decide maybe with the assistance of the party, whatever we choose who his running mate would be. But if you study my projectiles in politics, is to be free and fair for everybody. We create an environment. I know the remark very well. I'm one of those who, typical of me, I say my mind, and he's somebody who wants you to say your mind.
That's true.
And so I have his ear, and I believe his main preoccupation is to create an environment in which anybody who wants to contest on the platform of this party does so. Be mindful of the fact that we are not only in this thing for presidency. We have governors, we have senators, we have House of Assembly, House of Rep. Everybody must be able to feel that he's gotten justice.
So on the final note, let me ask you, Mr. Lawal, do you have a plan B? If the cases don't go in your favor, do you have a plan B?
Strategically, if we have a plan B, there's no way you hear it from my mouth on Channels television.
Bam!
You are talking to me.
Yeah, but on television.
You and I have gone a long way.
And now I begin to doubt whether you are free and fair journalist or you are another Bola Tinubu apologist. But I mean,
you're joking me, right?
You are known by your antics, my brother.
I might push you, but I stand right in the middle. I don't care who's on the board.
So that way.
Absolutely. It's in the interest of our country. A free and fair independent journalism is the best for our democracy. Thank you so much, Mr. Babachir Lawal.
If to say not be Babachir Lawal and this man when you bring Tanko, it is for they watch your channels. I beg you, come and sit down.
What's the number one cause of heart attacks? Is it high cholesterol? Nope.
Something about a comment. Of course, there be 31 governors running from EFCC now. I bet me like not be me be the cause of the problem for Nigeria. Not be me make INEC they bias. Sydney, welcome. I'm telling you, not my shame. You say one fool me once.
Now, there is growing political momentum behind the African Democratic Congress, ADC, with prominent figures such as Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Rabiu Kwankwaso, Nasir El-Rufai, Rotimi Amechi, Rauf Aregbesola, Abubakar Malami, and other political heavyweights looking to cause a major upset in 2027 by defeating the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. Relishing the challenge ahead, the ADC leaders have declared that there would be no easy victory for President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general elections. Joining us on the show to discuss the potential of the ADC emerging as a credible opposition, formidable enough to challenge the APC hegemony in 2027, is Professor Anthony Kila, a professor of strategy and development and center director at the Center for International Advanced and Professional Studies. Professor Kila, it's a morning of profs today. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good to be here. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, shall we go straight to Dr. Abati, who is contributing from Abuja?
Yeah, Professor Kila, good to have you on the program. Good morning. Well, let's just get straight into it.
Please help me.
By April 2, good morning, thank you. By April 2, the African Democratic Congress, ADC, was already kicking back against the decision of INEC, which said it was relying on the Court of Appeal ruling of March 12 to derecognize the two factions in ADC. Now, Senator David Mark was the first at the World Press Conference to say that INEC was being partisan, INEC was taking sides, and that the party will go ahead with its programs, congresses, and convention. Now, we had just yesterday, after the convention, which took place, Waziri Adamawa Atiku Abubakar also insisting, as Senator David Mark did, as others did at the convention, that the ADC is the credible alternative that Nigerians can look forward to as a replacement for the ruling party, the APC. Do you think that the ADC is being overly optimistic? Do you think that the ADC truly stands a chance as an alternative that can push APC out of power? Because only yesterday, the National Secretary and the Chairman of the APC were both saying And in fact, if there is any opposition to the APC, it is the PDP, which can at least boast of constituencies, not the ADC, as the two of them were pointing out, the chairman and the national secretary, which is a coalition of individuals rather than a coalition of political parties. But what's your take on all of these issues?
Yes, another take. I think that there are four major things to be said about the current situation. Number one is that anybody who likes democracy, anybody who believes in the institution of a free society will understand that we need a vibrant opposition, regardless of how you voted or how you intend to vote. We will agree that we need an opposition, regardless of if the opposition wins or loses. We will agree that for democracy to be qualified to be called one, a vibrant opposition is needed. The other thing is, it's only natural for the ADC to say they are the one, they are the main thing, they are the real thing that can uphill government, because as an opposition party, they have to contend against government. They also have to contend against other opposition parties or work with them. Those are two major issues. There's a third unfortunate issue in this one, which is that the ADC, I keep wondering why they chose similar names. One is, I'm tempted to make mistakes in pronouncing them. The ADC, the African Democratic Congress, needs to show us, that they deserve to be the party that will take over from the APC. The way to do it is to come up with alternative programs, clear manifestos, and a different way of doing things that will persuade people to vote for them. Unfortunately, there is an issue, which is a legal issue, but I think they're going to have to find a way to solve that. I also think the APC can say whatever they like, but the APC cannot choose the opposition. They cannot determine this is the real opposition. Everybody can say they're the real opposition. Everybody can say that the one they're going to win. We shall see the result in election day. But I think it is safe, and I say this, as a teacher, whatever happens, we must look at facts. It is safe to say, in this country today, with what the PDP is going through, with others are going through, the ADC is the most robust opposition. That might change tomorrow, but as of today, it is that, because the PDP, like most opposition parties in Nigeria, as faction, is at war with itself, and is also a party in which the leaders of the party, substantial leaders, because I don't think in the organigram those leaders are the real leaders, but the substantial leaders say they are going to support the government of the day in part. So that makes them not a very strong, credible alternative, unless you want to believe in federalism, where they might support somebody at the center and within and in the sub-regions they support all that, which is a complex but legitimate kind of politics to play, but it's a complex. So where we are today, substantially, ADC is the main thing. It is not up to them to earn to be a government in waiting. I believe that the way they need to do it is to show us different policy, different process, and different policies. I'm saying different people, but they don't look very different. But they are the ones that have been there. But that's what we have. So we have to deal with it.
So much already. Someone made a mistake at the ADC convention with the name, like you were talking about earlier. They're so similar, it's easy for anyone to make mistakes when calling their names. But let me ask you around structures. Political structures. Currently, the ADC is emerging, and if you look at what they have currently in states, they say politics is local. You could say that they haven't yet done the groundwork and they don't have the structures that the APC has. Would that be a disadvantage? Would that be significant enough to play out in the next elections for them? Or how can they work around not having the structures? Or, perhaps they do. Then the second part of it would be yesterday's media chat with the APC. The national secretary of the APC said that the problems within the opposition parties are self-inflicted. In fact, it says that they don't obey internal processes. They have challenges with obeying the framework of the law or abiding with the framework of the law. Do you agree with him?
So there are two things. The first part about the structure, I think as of today, the APC is in an advantageous position compared to all other parties because they've not gone through any major rupture or impulsion inside it. It might still happen, but as of today, APC is in a better position. I think ADC is going to struggle a bit, but I think if they have some, dedicated, committed, and capable people, it can easily be resolved. Maybe I take it with easily. It can be resolved. The problem they have with structure, but one, the problem is there. Two, I believe it is doable. I know it is there. That's a fact. My opinion is that this problem can be solved. To the issue of self-infliction, there's always going to be a bit of self-infliction, but we must be very careful because what we say today will be used against us in the future. What the opposition party is saying is that the APC or agents for them are the one causing their problems. They think that people are scattering their party, to use a very Nigerian expression, that they are causing chaos. So that is what they say. It is also true that most of the problem that opposition parties are having tends to be to the benefit, to the advantage of the APC. So you can't take that out. But I also think that, and here one that appears complex or sitting on the fence, but one is just being analytical. But I think there's also an issue with the political class in general. And that is two major problems. One is character, the other is vision. Character of the people who play politics in Nigeria, they tend to be people who are not so deep in their ideas, in their thoughts, that they can change ideas very easily. You know, they can just move from one party to the other, just be swayed. There are people who do not hold very sacred something as important as their political party, that they have no qualms destroying it or taking it to court or blocking it from happening. You know, they seem to have no qualms about that. I want our viewers to notice that when these people fight or quarrel, it is never about policy. It is never about saying that I don't agree with you because you say we're going to remove subsidy or because you say we're going to increase tax. They tend to say I disagree with you because you didn't make me chairman or because you didn't make my friend secretary or you didn't give me that position. Citizens should bear that in mind next time they want to call them honorable or distinguished or excellencies. They're not so excellent or honorable overall. The other side, that's character. The other side of vision is this. Leaders of parties left and right and center have themselves to blame. How do you make somebody a chairman, a vice chairman, a secretary, and you cannot see through him a bit that this person, has he or she got the gravitas to be a leader? Can you not just pause to look if this person is strong enough to withstand coercion or manipulation before you give them titles that you're giving them? We have to be careful, because if we send boys and girls to do the job of boys and men, then they will recant and there'll be a problem for us. And I think that is the issue our political class is facing, regardless of whether the government of the day is manipulating or coercing them or whether they're not obeying the law. You know, it's just a matter of character, competence, and vision overall. And we need to take that serious.
Okay.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Continue to like.
Another dimension to this debate is
geriatric running things aground in Nigeria. I'm not the reason. It's not my fault. Please help me to continue to tap that like button. If you are using a device, a phone device, double tap, double click on the screen device. Or if you see three dots, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that, click on it. There's like, share, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. That's it. Simple as ABC. Thank you very much. As you do.
Another long-running back and forth that we've been having. I know you've commented on it on a different platform. You said you feel that there's no evidence that suggests that the APC is responsible for the problems within the ADC.
Really,
we had a political scientist as well on the program. I believe it was last week. And he had the same position that, there's no evidence that shows that APC is responsible for the challenges that ADC is facing. Well, some responses are that, there's a pattern, not evidence that something bigger is at play. Is it that we need, as the social media generation would say, we need receipts, we need paper in black and white to prove that there is external interference? Or does this sort of predictable pattern that we're seeing, is that not enough to use as evidence to justify the position taken by the opposition, which is that there is interference and sabotage and coercion from the ruling party? Your take on this, especially because I know you have the philosophical brain that can give us deep insights into this.
Really philosophical.
Well, I think let us start from something. There's something they say, around this part of Lagos from where I'm talking today, and and it's around is that the witch cried yesterday and the child died today. You wonder, it is easy to conclude that it's the witch that killed the child. There is a disturbing pattern, So what you're asking me, and since you've invoked philosophy, what you're asking me is to distinguish between law and justice, logic and fact. There are times when you do not need logic. I mean, you always need logic, but there are times when fact are sometimes not sustained by logic, or sometimes when the law is not enough to prove justice. And this is where big leadership comes in. I think the way we're going to look at it is this. I believe that you cannot, until maybe tomorrow, until maybe you find telephone conversation or receipt, as you call it, of the APC telling INEC or other people to do something against the political parties. Well, there's one thing, and I've written this letter directly to the president of Nigeria in an open fair request. I call it an unfair request to the president. We can unfairly ask the president and the leaders of the APC to ensure that the democratic process is respected by allowing the opposition to be vibrant and it's an unfair request because it is not in their partisan interest, but it is in national interest to ensure that whoever wins runs a tough battle and has a clear victory. You see, part of the reason why, and I'm a pro-parliamentarian person, part of the reason why what I call a matured, classical, and strong democracy, part of the reason why the opposition is important is that if anybody, no matter how good and gentle and kind is, has access to power, and there's no countermeasure, there's no alternative views about whatever they do, it is easy to become complacent and it's easy to make mistakes. To respect democracy, even those who are right and powerful should ensure that the minority have their say. They should ensure that an opposing view is always available. So the patterns are enough to worry about a one-party state. I wouldn't want anybody to win an election in a one-party state, whether formally or substantially. There should be variety, there should be opposition, there should be choices. And it is the duty of those in power to ensure that those things happen. And that is my unfair request.
We need your help to save the masjid where over 100 Americans have accepted Islam. This is your brother Yusha Evans with an urgent appeal. Masjid.
All right, well, thank you very much, Professor Kila.
Professor Kila.
Okay, well, Dr. Bati. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to ask him about the same point about leadership, which Atiku Abubakar, Waziri Adamawa, addressed yesterday in an exclusive interview with Arise News. He was saying that zoning should not be an issue. Do you think that that will fly? That zoning does not matter in selecting the leader of the ADC, that is the presidential candidate. He says, well, they will try consensus. If that does not work, they will do, direct primary as stated in Section 84 of the Electoral Act. But if you look at that party, it's a field of, very prominent politicians who are interested in the position. But is Atiku Abubakar right to say, oh, no zoning, it's a PDP handmaiden, given the political calculus that we are, familiar with in Nigeria?
I think you're very right. ADC is a barrack of many generals. ADC is a barrack with many generals itself. I hope they get troops. I think zoning is going to matter. It's going to matter in the sense that it's either ADC decides to zone to somebody or they're going to negotiate based on zoning. I think zoning is a very part of Nigeria. But let me shock you, Dr. Bati and our viewers. I don't believe in zoning. I think zoning is a shame for us. Zoning is the evidence that we have not formed a true Nigeria. I think zoning is the idea to believe that I want my own person to be there. Otherwise, what is zoning? Do we have a zoning when we choose doctors or carpenters or photographers? It doesn't make sense. It's just part of the major flaws we have. But we must understand that that flaw is real. Most people are not like me. If I had my way, I would eliminate zoning. I will always choose the best. But I know that most people care about zoning, and Waziri Adamawa has to be conscious of that as well. My advice to him, since he wants to run, is either he finds a way where zoning doesn't matter, or he and his team are able to negotiate notwithstanding zoning. But let us be clear about one thing. What matters for opposition parties to bring the strongest candidate forward? My view is that it appears that Nigeria thinks strongest candidate goes through zoning. I don't agree, but then I'm not on the field.
All right, well, thank you very much, Professor Kila, for your time with us this morning.
Yeah, you are right. You are never right for that one. So zoning must. Only one place, only one person, not just feed the rule, they go. Everybody go sit down like monkey, they watch. Nah. It's not going to happen. We can't continue to do that. Okay? Until we get it right. That's why we're fighting for a sensible candidate. If we get a sensible candidate, guess what? We will not have to deal with this mess that we are dealing with. Everybody now will be voting for the best. But because of your geriatrics that you people have in Nigeria that don't want to leave power, they want to hang on to it by fire, by thunder. That's why we're where we are. Anyway, let's listen to
California homeowners.
With the successful conduct of the ADC convention against all odds, all routes now seem to head towards the courts. The INEC had de-recognized David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola as chairman and secretary of the party, respectively, on the basis of petitions from Honorable Abijide and others. But the party has defied INEC and successfully held its convention, where Abijide and his co-travelers were suspended. With the convention over, the party will now seek validity for its action, especially in the absence of INEC, to monitor the convention as mandated by the Electoral Act as amended. To discuss the way forward and options open to the ADC is Professor Sereme Osumbo, a senior advocate of Nigeria and a former governor of Edo State. Good morning, Prof, and thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruben Abati. It's nice to be on the show with you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And thank you for all your compliments.
Thank you,
but I need to quickly clarify that I'm not a senior advocate of Nigeria.
Okay.
Although I'm a highly respected member of the legal profession and a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, amongst many others.
Yes. But thank you for joining us, and thank you for that clarification. Now, very quickly, yesterday, I thought I had Senator David Marks saying that the legitimacy of the ADC that he leads comes from the will of the people and not from any regulation or any institution. But the big question is that event yesterday, as successful as ADC leaders say it is, can it stand in the light of the provision, Section 82 sub 3 of the Electoral Act, that INEC must monitor the convention, and INEC was conspicuously absent. The second other issue has to do with the internal crisis within the ADC itself, because that said yesterday, there was a matter in court, I think the Court of Justice Abdul Malik at the Federal High Court, Abuja, where about 7 persons in ADC from the states are gone to court to challenge the constitutional authority of the David Mark-led group. Now, the case has now been adjourned till April 23. That, again, may be something, that we'll look forward to. So what's the way forward for the ADC? And do you think that what happened yesterday can really stand?
Well, thank you again, Dr. Ruben Abati. Let me make this very important fundamental clarification. The Electoral Act requires political parties to give INEC at least 21 days notice before any convention, any meeting, any congresses. That is the duty imposed by law on every political party. And African Democratic Congress, my party, fulfilled that statutory duty or requirement. The section you refer to says that having received such a notice, INEC must go and monitor the congresses, the meetings, the convention. So it's very clear to everybody, and I'm sure it's clear to you, Dr. Ruben Abati, that once the political party ADC had fulfilled its own responsibility as required by law, INEC also was required to fulfill its own responsibility, as the law says, shall monitor the convention. So it is INEC that is now in default of the law. INEC, unfortunately, is presenting itself as a body of outlaws, a body that does not recognize the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it is INEC that you should call out why they have refused to carry out a duty imposed on them by Section 82, subsection 3 that you quoted, which says that they must, once they have received the notice. But yesterday, unfortunately, they defaulted, they neglected, they abdicated their responsibility to carry out statutory duty.
But sir, what of the other leg?
Well, with respect to but the cases in court.
Yes, sir. In the Federal High Court.
Which was the other leg?
The case at the Federal High Court.
Yes, I'm coming to that. Yes, I'm coming to that. Well, in the morning, there was a lot of what I can regard as disinformation or fake news that there is an order or was an order stopping the convention. There was no such order at all. It was, again, part of the machinations of those who are afraid of ADC and are throwing everything on the way of ADC. There was no order yesterday or at any time stopping this convention. What happened was that these cases instituted by the state chairman went to court, and what they are really saying is that the congresses that have been held or are being held is designed to remove them from office and to shortchange them and replace them by new people. That is the gist of the matter. And the court said, maintain status quo ante bellum. But you would have seen announcement by the party congratulating the newly elected persons, but nobody has been removed. Those chairmen whose tenures will expire on the 12th of May remain in office as far as ADC is concerned. Nobody has removed them or is removing them. They are suggesting that congresses shouldn't take place until their tenure has expired. But that doesn't make sense to anybody, Dr. Ruben Abati. You know, for instance, that the presidential election next year is going to take place on the 16th of January. Governorship election on the 6th of February. How will it sound if governors say, no, don't conduct elections into governorships because our tenure extends to the 29th of May? That is the kind of argument that these chairmen are raising, that congresses should not be conducted until their tenures have elapsed. But that doesn't make sense. So congresses have been conducted. There are people who have been elected, but they will not be inaugurated or take office until the tenure of the existing people has expired. So you can see that even the maintain status quo ante-bellum doesn't hurt us. It doesn't hurt us at all because we recognize that the tenure of the chairman subsists until the 12th of May.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Now, one of the challenges that has been identified is the challenge of timing. Yes, we reported earlier on about the Supreme Court hearing and determining that to come April 22. I would like you to, without, of course, preempting the ruling of the Supreme Court, in the event that, one, A, it goes in favor of the ADC, what next? In the event that, B, it doesn't go in favor of the ADC, what then happens? Because you've held a convention, you've ratified leaders of the party, but there's still legal uncertainties, and there's a time limit as well with regards to INEC's timing. What happens for the ADC? What are the options? If, looking at both options, what would be the outcome or the next steps?
What if you could claim a stake on what's set to be the biggest IPO ever, starting with just $500?
Well, we believe that the uncertainty which has prompted your question has been deliberately created by INEC, possibly during the bidding of the ruling APC party and government. Because there's no question, the issues are really, everybody now knows that courts lack jurisdiction to inquire into the internal affairs of political party. Everybody.
It's not me, oh. It's not me, oh. I don't know what's going on. Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀? They want to take the video down. Maybe they not try them.
To inquire into the internal affairs of political party. Everybody in Nigeria knows that these days. And the question of leadership, who is the authentic chairman, who is the authentic secretary of political party leadership, political parties, is a leadership question. And the Supreme Court has severally established that these matters are not justiciable. The Electoral Act, Section 82, has also now confirmed it, that these matters are not justiciable. Courts shouldn't even entertain them. So that was the issue that was appealed to the Court of Appeal, that the Federal High Court cannot even entertain this matter. So we do expect that the Supreme Court will adhere to its former decision, its previous decisions. The stare decisis, as you would, I'm sure, Dr. Abati, you would fully understand, yes. It should abide by its former decisions in establishing that leadership issues are not justiciable in the court. Once that is established, then the impediment that INEC has deliberately created on our way will be removed. And even for INEC, when the Court of Appeal said maintain the status quo ante bellum, it means what was the situation in ADC on the 2nd of September when Bala Nafiu Gombe went to court. INEC was fully aware from the 29th of July that the David Mark-led National Working Committee had been inaugurated. They were aware that the former National Working Committee, of which Nafiu Bala Gombe was a member, was dissolved. This goes beyond the issue of whether or not he resigned. Even if he didn't resign, the NEC of ADC on the 29th of July 2025 dissolved the Raf Nwosu-led National Working Committee, of which Bala Nafiu Gombe was a member. So one member of the National Working Committee couldn't say, no, I am not affected by that resolution. It was a resolution of the NEC that dissolved the National Working Committee. Raf Nwosu and the entire National Working Committee stepped down or resigned their positions, and the David Mark-led National Working Committee, of which National Legal Advisor, was inaugurated. INEC was aware. INEC monitored that event. They had the report filed with them. So for INEC to say that the status quo bellum meant that the portal, which is administrative anyway, the portal that they opened and that they filled on the 9th of September with the name of David Mark and Aregbesola as chairman and secretary respectively, that they had de-recognized them. Everybody will see that that is not the law. I know that Professor Amupiton is a professor of law. I know that what I've explained is easily understood by even law students in the Faculty of Law in the university. So I believe that Professor Amupiton, the chairman of INEC, in his heart of heart, knows the truth of the situation. That status quo ante bellum meant the situation which he knew that David Mark and Aregbesola were chairman and secretary. He knew this before the 9th of September.
Okay.
But we understand that he was under tremendous pressure, which may have made him to misinterpret what was obvious to everybody.
Okay, thank you for that. Several issues are rising, and I'd like to go back to sort of where we started, which is around your comments that INEC neglected its duty. Now, what happens in an instance where INEC holds a position that those who wrote the notification 21 days or more for this convention, if INEC maintains the position that these are not the legitimate office holders, does that not negate the assumption that INEC has neglected their duties? Because in their defense, INEC would say, well, we can't acknowledge a notification of any convention or congress or any event whatsoever from a group of people that we've already notified that we don't recognize. Is that not grounds for the delegitimization of the convention? And just help us to understand that.
Watch what nuts do to our body. A walnut is really good for you. It's loaded with omega-3 fats or with fiber.
Well, I'm afraid that you have taken the argument even to a level that even INEC itself has not reached. INEC has not said that they will not recognize correspondence made to them earlier on. They said that henceforth from that day, that they will no longer receive correspondence from ADC through the national chairman and secretary. You are implying that they also meant that notifications received by them prior to that date will also not be acted upon. Even INEC has not gotten to that point, and I don't think they have done that. But again, I had explained this sufficiently, that INEC knows the true position. INEC knows that David Mark and Aregbesola from the 29th of July 2025 are the chairman and secretary respectively. Are they denying that they were not aware that as of the 2nd of September, they were not aware who the chairman and secretary of ADC were or are? I'm sure you know that. So again, I said the law says that every political party should send its notification to INEC at least 21 days to the event. And ADC had fulfilled that. If, for whatever reason, INEC felt it could not carry out its statutory duty, that is a question that INEC needs to answer, and then to search its minds properly, whether in the light of this biased interpretation of the law, in the light of the signals that they have given out, that they are acting the script of APC and the government, whether they can be trusted to really maintain neutrality and independence in the 2027 general elections. If INEC can crumble, if they can succumb to pressure, even as, on matters as basic as this, what would happen when they are under pressure to announce a loser of an election as the winner of that election? So you see that INEC has put its credibility in question, serious jeopardy and serious question. And that is why people are saying that the integrity of INEC has been so compromised that INEC cannot guarantee free, fair, and credible elections in 2027, particularly under the leadership of Professor Joash Amupiton, who, from many accounts, things that happened with respect to ADC and other things, other revelations that coming up, that Nigerians cannot trust this man to lead INEC to conduct a free, fair, and credible elections in 2027 that Nigerians will regard as legitimate and acceptable. And so the ADC has demanded that he should quietly resign his position. The fate of 250 or so million Nigerians is more than his personal interest in remaining on that seat as national chairman. So we have demanded, ADC has demanded that the chairman of INEC should please, in the interest of Nigerians, and even in the interest of friends of Nigeria. I just read that the president of Ghana says he prays daily for the success of Nigeria, because if Nigeria fails, it will affect Ghana. If Nigeria succeeds, it will affect Ghana. Even the friends of Nigeria are concerned that the elections coming up in 2027 are credible, acceptable, and we usher in a legitimate government. So I want to seriously also add my voice in advising the chairman of INEC in the interest of Nigeria to bow out quietly, because the interest of Nigeria as a country supersede his own personal desire or interest to remain in that office.
But what if the INEC chairman refuses to resign and President Tinubu refuses to sack him? Because his appointment is has a constitutional basis. Sections 153, 154. President appoints, the Senate endorses him, and that's it. So I imagine that he will not willingly resign. And the APC ruling party is not asking the president to sack him. I don't think the president even wants to sack him, along with his commissioners. So what happens thereafter?
What's the number one cause of heart attack? Is it high cholesterol? Nope. High blood pressure? Nope. Not exercising enough?
Well, one thing is legality, Dr. Ruben Abati. You've looked at the legal dimension of it, but it goes beyond legality. We are looking at the future of Nigeria. We are looking at the integrity of the electoral system. We are looking at the issue of legitimacy, acceptability of the end result. And, perception is key in these matters. If the public has come to perceive the chairman of INEC as not being able to deliver credible elections in Nigeria, that perception should be taken into account very seriously. So he, sometimes even presidents of some countries have resigned out of pressure.
Yes.
Not because the law requires them, but in the interest of their country. Presidents of countries have voluntarily resigned or stepped down. How much less a chairman of a commission? So he should consider the larger interests of the country. He should be interested in the integrity of the end result. What will it profit him, or even Mr. President that you mentioned, if Nigerians do not accept the results of the election because the whole process has been compromised or seen to lack integrity and credibility? So these are questions for him. Nobody can force him to resign, but he's remaining there. We have grave implications for the future of our democracy and the future of Nigeria. The choice is left to him and his principal, who appointed him as chairman.
Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you very much, Professor Usumbo, for joining us on the Morning Show today.
Okay, let me bring Donaza. Donaza, me, I like. Donaza is one of my top favorite analysts. Donaza, they sabi, they break, the kind of pidgin when I they like to hear broken English. You understand? The only one that only he can talk. Oh, Donaza. Yes, take your flowers. All right, let's listen to him.
Hello, you are welcome to this class. With Weti I don't see recently, people they talk about APC for North. I can tell you that this party is completely rejected in the North. Most people don't reject APC. This class, I will prove them to you. Say, Northern Nigeria completely, they don't reject APC. We already know, say, Eastern Nigeria, they don't first like APC. Here, APC, they did parallel. I don't know of South, I don't know of Southwest. But if you talk about these two regions, APC is completely rejected. I will prove it for this class. We call it now the governors party. Governors. But for the people, ordinary people, where they street, if they cast vote today, forget about APC. The only way again now to do election when no dey free affair. If you run a free affair election for Nigeria, forget that shit. We'll see now. Let's first of all listen to this, Baba. According to the poster, an elderly man from Jigawa has stated that if Tinubu and the APC remain in power, I swear, a person may even look at the grave and say, I wish I were the one in the grave. He added that the government of Asiwaju is like that of Pharaoh. Now, we'll go listen to that.
Baba me kace mutanen nan suka koma mulki wallahi ya mutun ya ga kaburi yake ina madina Allah baba mutane baba wasu mutane mu ba ne mutanen ba a wasu mutane ne za su wannan mulki na Firauna waya shi wa kenan a so du a mulki Firauna bane sai ga mana Allah baba to tafiya ne baba wajen ne kuma wajen ne shi baba ina wajen ne shi.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one, to platforms ready for many.
So it's just an old man who is frustrated. He's trying to say that if we allow these people to return to power, things will become so hard that you will even be wishing, you see grave, and will be wishing that we were the ones in the graves. So he was kind of like saying Tinubu's regime is just like Pharaoh's regime. So the people around you were kind of like making fun of him, and then he told them to get out. They don't know what's going on.
You don't hear us say if they allow Tinubu and the APC to continue beyond 2027, person go look at grave, say, I wish. Now me they inside the grave. That is serious. Let's listen to Honorable Idris Kango, National Secretary, Northern Progressive Agenda.
We have a president who seems not even care about the North, who doesn't even understand, who doesn't, I don't even know how to put it. Because way back when he was a governor, there was a time he said that he doesn't even believe in one Nigeria. So I used to ask myself, like, does even President Tinubu really cares about the North? People are dying on a daily basis. Look at what happened in Borno just a few days ago. And in the same time, the same president does not see the need to go to Borno. Do not see the need to take a drastic action about it. All of a sudden, he's out of the country, state visit to UK. What is he looking for? Can you govern the country without the people? Or is he trying to tell us that the life of the Northerners does not matter? What is he trying to say?
Is that your reading of the situation, or do you think that that's the message that he's trying to send?
It is the same president during President Goodluck Jonathan that condemns Jonathan for not visiting some states when there was insecurity, when I think there was a bomb blast, I think it was in Nyanya, when Jonathan was out there for campaign. The same president now blasted Jonathan for that.
You don't hear us. Now, serious matter for APC. It be like they know. That's why they put trap everywhere for ADC to even allow them to use a venue for Abuja, and then they block them. Now, you don't go see any prominent politician for not today. Aside the governors, people who are currently in the power, we like APC. So for presidential election, there is no hope for Asiwaju for not. More continue. Like this guy, Yakuza, he dropped this. APC has a big job to do in the North because I don't see APC within the North, especially at the presidential poll. See how now on the 12th of April 2026, not of Adi Donaza, go collect all tweets. Correct one. Zainab Buba Galadima also has something to say. Remember, say she don't resign from APC, go join ADC.
Saying you have, or you're having about the APC, is that you belong in the group, but then you do not think they represent the values that they profess.
Yes. And I was one of the founding members of APC from CPC. We joined because we believed that late President Buhari was going to bring that change, that ease for the common man. That was the reason why I believed in that.
Did Buhari fail in doing that?
Yes, he did. He did. And the people around him, woefully.
So the APC is a failure?
Big time. Big time.
And are you ashamed to have associated yourself
absolutely
with it?
I said it the last time. I am ashamed, I am disappointed, and I cannot, I just cannot I cannot walk with my shoulders up high and say, oh, okay, I'm part of this. No, I cannot. I can't.
Always wanted to do something in engineering, wanted to be the one that helped design and make the solution.
ECPI University, engineering technology programs.
You see, I'm ashamed, yes.
I mean, was it difficult or easy for you to exit the APC?
Honestly,
like
Don has an asset to Walai.
When you're in a toxic marriage, you will be patient for a very long time. You will take all sorts of rubbish.
With a narcissist partner.
With narcissist, yes. And the day you decide that you decide it's over, you will not miss it. I don't miss APC one bit. I miss some people in it because there's a family that I joined, a family of people that think the way I do. There are still good people. There are good people everywhere. There are bad people everywhere. But you cannot have a platform and then be doing otherwise when you're saying you're progressive. I don't miss it one bit, and I don't regret it, and I'm unapologetic about it. And there is nothing they will do to bring me back.
Are they planning to bring you back?
People are calling me. Why did you leave? I was like, oh, I thought I was invisible. I thought I didn't matter. But yes, people are calling me, people from my ward, people from my local government, from the state, from the federal level. And what gave me, the last week, I went to Malam El-Rufai's house. I met serving senators from APC. I was like, so how's APC? They were like, we're tired. I said, even you? So you people see what is happening? They said, yes. So I can guarantee you that most people in APC are not happy with APC. They're just there because of some convenience or the other. And I don't have any business.
You can answer? What will you see again for here?
The last week, I went to Malam El-Rufai's house. I met serving senators from APC. I was like, so how's APC? They were like, we're tired. I said, even you? So you people see what is happening? They said, yes. So I can guarantee you that most people in APC are not happy with APC. They're just there because of some convenience or the other. And I don't have any business being there.
So what you're describing is some kind of implosion in the house, but it's sinking.
Yes.
But because on the outside, the APC look very populated, and it looks popular within the circle. But you are saying what you're saying is totally different. That in fact there could be a possibility of fifth columnist within the rank and file of the APC.
Yes.
We had also no hope for APC as far as Northern Nigeria is concerned. They're angry. At Twitter now, if I say they pour them here, we will comment it today. I think I'll do short one. No. This guy, according to him, now the 12th of April, will be 02. I was telling a friend of mine that even if ADC's presidential candidate happens to be Peter Obi, I will vote for him. That's why I no support Peter Obi before. And my guy said, I swear, the guy where they tell, don't swear, don't say, I swear, even if it is now the Kanu, I will vote for him. So if somebody is now saying, I would rather vote for Nnamdi Kanu than voting for APC or whoever they will put as president, this simply tells you how frustrated and disappointed our people are. Now, insecurity is what talk. Now, economic action is what talk. Now, bandage is what talk. Oh, now promise of hope. The Bible says, of the fight, naked is so sick. They are so sick. Their expectation was high. Muslim ticket. This is what they can do. Go and check. To the answer that Bashir Ahmad, where we say, if he argue, Peter say, forget that thing. See what he replied to this guy. He said, in politics, even 24 hours is a very long time. It means say he agreed with him. He's just telling the guy that we'll find solution. And we are still 10 months away from the presidential election. What do they won't do for 10 months? What don't know if we do for more than 3 years. A lot can change within that period. Before then, we do our best to engage, persuade, and convince you otherwise. Now he reply, this guy. It means say himself is also acknowledging it. Say no hope for APC for North. No hope Gabadaya. Lead to no chance for Tinubu in the North. So the answer that Senator Tabua, not they use Hausa, they break this down for them. They show how bad the government is, according to him. Look, listen now.
Okay, so after all, he said he's not trustworthy. That is the president. He's not trustworthy because he rigged the election and became the president. That is why he's treating Nigerians the way he wants to, because he knows that Nigerians did not vote for him. That's why he's treating them the way he wants to. So he even said that it is his money that made him president. So he ended the decision by saying, my people, listen, even now, they are still budgeting on some money. So that's why the video ended.
They know they didn't win. They stole Nigerian vote to grab power. And himself confessed to buying it with his money. If he might even confess, say, now buy.
I've been needing more art in my bedroom and recently painted this canvas. However, I wasn't quite sure the best way to hang it, so I turned to ChatGPT. It gave me a list of all the materials I needed and an easy step-by-step. I'm so happy with how it turned out.
You know, with AI, you can create any character you want in seconds.
This used to require huge Hollywood budgets,
complex software, and tons of time.
But right now, all you need is a laptop
and knowledge of the best AI tools out there.
It'll cost you practically nothing, and it doesn't require any subscriptions.
In just 2 days, we'll show you how to unlock the most advanced AI filmmaking and content creation tools without having to pay a cent in overpriced subscriptions. With these tools, you'll learn how to create scroll-stopping videos that rack up millions of views, craft wildly profitable online ads that blow up your brand, and turn any creative idea into a powerful short film that looks like it belongs on the big screen. But it's not just AI filmmaking that you're going to learn. With AI, you can create any image or graphic that you can imagine. You can create full-blown viral YouTube thumbnails in seconds. Your website, emails, infographics, your entire business can be built with AI. People are using AI to fill up their content calendar in seconds. AI can come up with countless viral ideas. It can script and storyboard your content, all while keeping your unique creative voice. All you need is the right tools and how to use them. It's the new year and contentcreator.com is having its biggest sale of the year. And you can get our AI creator course, viral video editing course, and our pack of insane video editing templates for an incredible discount. Let's start with the AI creator course. It costs less than a dinner date with your grandma, but like so many of our students tell us, it will blow your mind. Now, before I show you exactly what you'll learn in this course, I want to ease your mind with a few important details. Number one, this course is designed to help you avoid paying expensive subscriptions for AI tools. We show you the secret ways to access most tools without signing up for monthly or yearly plans. Off the bat, this is going to save you a ton of money. Number two, this course is perfect for complete AI beginners and seasoned AI vets. We have a beginner's crash course that gets you up to speed super fast. And then we have advanced sections that leave the pros who use AI every day completely speechless. Number three, this is the only AI course that receives weekly content updates to ensure that you are staying on top of the rapidly changing AI technology. Many of our students say that this is their favorite aspect of the entire program. And finally, number four, this course has a
Listen to this one again.
I have seen that we're in front of it every day.
So it's kind of like he's talking to the president. So he was together with the president, but now he's no longer with the president. I think he's together with a movement called Zida. I think the movement is against the president. So he was saying that honestly speaking, the money that was budgeted in 2023 and 2024, 2025 has not been used properly. Instead, it has been pocketed.
Also, the budget 2023, 2024, 2025, they no implement. See, they looted the money. Pocketed the money. The outside trade. No open. Election never start to, campaign never start to. Preamble never they do so. Let campaign start now. And over to they prison. If I come out, the way when they angry, now ginger and the ginger with this arrest. For Kwansoko, move to ADC. Another one, where go put crowd. That's why they fear. They know what ADC. They get themselves. They want scatter around. The only way out is to scatter them. I know say they don't go vote for us, most scatter them. According to the poster of this, young man Ali Usman is moving from street to street, educating people about the negative effect of APC. Oh, from top to bottom, according to him, anyone who wants peace and a better life should leave APC. APC is a party of wickedness and oppression, according to him. A party that does not value human dignity. I call on youth, men and women, spaghetti of 500 naira should not deceive you. Let us not sell our freedom again for 200 or 100 naira. We must stand up. I sure we crush APC politically. More listen to
APC jami'a ne matuciya azzalima. Jami'a ne wanda bata san darajar dan adam ba. Muna gani da mata da maza ana koro su je da dauke ka mai da kai cikin bayi. Mun san da doka ba wai ba doka gaskiya ne. Dan haka ina kira ga manya ga mata dan Allah dan Annabi. Taliyan naira 500 bai da me ka ba. Wahalan da zaka yi cike kuna ganin kan Ghana da aka samu irin haka su suke zuwa Najeriya suke yi. Da kasan su kai kun ga sun koma kasan su. To dan haka ku kan kurciya jawabi ne. Da addu'a da uba ake ado ba da gwamnati ake ado ba. Dan haka ABC ba ma yi. Matasa da manya ku gargadi kanku. Kace zuwa kan 500 kaje kana yi kai asara ka tsaya ka kake ni masara matasa ku ni masara ku tsaya da yancin ku dan haka mu ba garman tirafko bane sai da muna yi a zo a sa mana giris dan haka idan za ku sa giris ku ni mai ayyan ku da yan uwanku ku sa musu giris sai su mu baki dan haka in Allah ya ga ABC tun daga sama tun daga matakin akwati in Allah da sai mun kai ta kasa ba gudu ba ja da baya mu mun dogara ga Allah ne baka isa ka mana abin da Allah bai mana ba duk abin da ya faru da mu kaddara ne kuma mun riga da kaddara mun san imani ne to dan haka dan Allah da matasa da iya mun na kira duk wanda ya zo maka maganar APC ka ci duru bashi duk mutumin da ya zo maka maganar APC ka ci duru bashi yawa ne magana da dai maka ina ne zamu je mu sayar da naira 10 ta zama naira 20 ina ne zamu je mu tatata da manjagara ina ne zamu je mu sha ice shine ya dame ma kasan nan dan haka taliya shinkafa mudu biyu shinkafa kai kudi makwacin ka ka dauki zai baka mudu biyu dan haka wannan aiki da ake yi jama'a gani ga wani ya shi wani koran Allah dan haka
so he started by saying from top to bottom anyone who wants to live peacefully should abandon APC. Because APC is a wicked party. They are oppressors and they do not value human life. We are seeing how people are treated like slaves. So I think it's kind of like talking about the bandit issues and other stuff. So he continues by saying, I'm calling on my elders and women 500 naira spaghetti will not disturb you, but the problem we will face later will disturb you. Then you kind of like make comparison with Ghana. We have seen similar situations with Ghana. Ghana once experienced something like this, like what we are experiencing here in Nigeria, and they ran here to Nigeria, that's Ghanaians. But when their country later became stable, they returned back home. Then at the end, he brought something like a proverb saying that you only be addressed by your own father, but you cannot be addressed by someone else's father. So he sounds like saying like for example, what happened to Ghanaians? They left home and they came to Nigeria, but here they still don't feel safe. So when their country later became stable, they returned back home. So that's why he brought that proverb, like you'll be addressed by your own father, not by someone else's father. So he continued by saying, so APC, we do not want you. Our youth and elders should be careful. Do not allow yourself to be deceived by 200, 500. If you allow that, then you are reducing your value. Go out and look for work. Then he still brought another proverb saying, we are not tractors that you only come to grease us.
We need your help to save the masjid where over 100 Americans have accepted Islam. This is your brother Yusha Evans with an urgent appeal. Masjid Isa.
During the rainy season. So if you want to grease someone, go and grease your own children. So he continued by saying, by Allah's grace, we bring down APC. Now he said, we only depend on Allah and no one can change Allah's way. He said, you, my elders and youth, if anyone comes to talk to you about APC, make sure you deal with that person.
Let me just play from here. Close player, I beg. And I don't do enough. Let me move it here.
Here to Nigeria, that's Ghanaians. But when their country later became stable, they returned back home. Then at the end, he brought something like a proverb saying that you only be addressed by your own father, but you cannot be addressed by someone else's father. So it's kind of like saying, like for example, what happened to Ghanaians? They left home and they came to Nigeria, but here they still don't feel safe. So when their country later became stable, they returned back home. So that's why he brought that proverb, like you'll be addressed by your own father, not by someone else's father. So he continued by saying, so APC, we do not want you. Our youth and elders should be careful. Do not allow yourself to be deceived by 200, 500. If you allow that, then you are reducing your value. Go out and look for work. Then he still brought another proverb saying, we are not tractors that you only come to grease us during the rainy season. So if you want to grease someone, go and grease your own children. So he continued by saying, by Allah's grace, we bring down APC. Now he said, we only depend on Allah and no one can change Allah's will. He said, I'm begging you, my elders and youth, if anyone comes to talk to you about APC, make sure you deal with that person. So he continued by saying, right now, our concern is how to convert 10 naira into 20 naira, how to make use of rake, how to make wood, and our concern should not be spaghetti and rice. So he said, if you even be patient, your neighbor can even give you that spaghetti and rice.
You don't hear us, so. Yes, they hear. Upon us, ADC, they go through their struggle for the internal sabotage. For the people where they plan, they scatter the party. Somebody see get mind, come up from PDP, heavyweight politician, former deputy governor of Zamfara State. His Excellency Mahadi Aliyu Guswa has officially resigned from PDP, set to join ADC. It's like, make I not go join APC, they cost too you. May I better go ADC, just imagine. For the North, ADC is seen as the people's party now, while APC is viewed as the party of the governors. For many, it is anything but APC. Anything but APC. You fit say, now Atiku deliver Nigeria, now that one go deliver Nigeria. All leaders are the same. Forget that shit. That is democracy. If we try you for 4 years, you mess up. The people should have the right to assess you, to say, let's give you chance to continue. Continuity is like a gift. It's like, thank you for doing well for the past 4 years. Not forcing yourself in. No. Let me continue because I have done well. That is democracy. That's why they say for 4 years. They will say war 8 years. Get the point now? So waiting, I think. We're going to drop off a comment here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
Okay, the next one. There's another one I want us to do. He just dropped one now.
This class, we're going to look at 8 important hot news or revelations from Nigeria today. Hope you are ready. Hot ones. So Before we even start to do introduction, we will listen to Buba Galadima.
ADC and its government has tried to destroy the PDP, the SDP, the NNPP, the Labour Party, and indeed the ADC. But what I want to remind them of is that even if there is no living human being in Nigeria, and we bring a corpse in a coffin and put him against President Tinubu, I assure you that that corpse will win the elections in 2027.
You hear also, it also, even that person, where they say coffin, will be with Tinubu for this coming election. As long as the election is fair and fair, go bring that person. Say Nigeria, so this is a dead man, and this is APC. Say Nigeria, just to clear the air of the topic we did yesterday, saying the Northerners don't reject Tinubu completely. Okay, Moku start. Number one, news coming out, 2 court judgments in favor of the ADC. From this poster breaking, court dismisses suit against David Mark, says it is internal issues, party should handle it. Arise as shine Nigeria. So you can see, they're saying an internal issue. Let's look at the case summary. The plaintiff now, Dumebi, Kachuku, are 4 others. Remember, say, last time I did a class on this saying, another person don't come, he thought say, David Marco, nephew, Gombe. Me, they know they fight. Say, both of them, they don't get right to the party's leadership. You remember, right? Now then, that is Dumebi, Kachuku. Now they sue David Mark. Aside the other man, where the ginger sits. Court tell and say, carry your wahala go and meet your party. This type of matter na internal matter. Now go settle around. Defendant where they sue ADC, David Mark, Aregbesola, INEC, and others. What they wanted, remove Mark and Aregbesola from ADC leadership. Court decision. The judge, now Joyce Abdulmalik, she talks say case dismissed completely. But why? She talks the matter concerns internal party affairs, leadership and membership disputes. Now, family matter, which are non-justiciable, not suitable for court intervention. Court not supposed to put mouth. Even the one where the other one, the ginger so, he not supposed to carry and go court. We dey wait. Political parties are voluntary associations. Agreed members to resolve issues through the party's internal mechanisms or leave adjoint another party. Now, so she talk. Court lack jurisdiction over such voluntary internal matters. See judgment. The ADC, David Mark faction, welcomed it as a victory for the rule of law and democracy. 2, another one. They say court dismisses suit against David Mark-led ADC ESCO. Labels it internal issues. Says party should handle it. These one are from Castina. You know, say David Mark are called. They are in Abuja, HQ, headquarters, national leaders. They call select leaders for Castina, different states. This one in Castina, where they so they are loyal to David Mark. Now another group carry them go court. We will see what will happen. The court, now Castina State High Court, Dusima, date April 14, 2026. Plaintiff, Alhaji Musa Usman, Waba plus others. Defendant, now these people, they sue, say, una wanna they support David Mark, una come out for the party, now no be the leaders. What happened? Now April 7th, 2026, 9 Judge A.K. Toku gave interim order. So that order suspended ADC activities in Castina, stop congresses, block some people from acting as leaders, say, everybody for now, no more leaders. Wanna go sleep until the next court judgment. Final decision where they can't decide. The same judge reversed himself. Action taken, cancelled, vacated the earlier order. This order where I give say, wanna go sleep. No more leaders. Until I decide. I am sorry. I'm not supposed to put mouth. I don't know what it came over me. Call vacate am. Struck out the entire case. Why? Issue. Internal party matter, just like the one we read before. The law where he quote, Section 83(5) Electoral Act, meaning courts have no jurisdiction, no be our hand. We're not supposed to decide this matter. See judges, they all do like this. Say this time, don't like this again. So the next one, the major one, now between David Mark and Matthew Gumbe. That be the main one. But these two now just say, cut, not supposed to put mouth when it comes to leadership of political parties. 2027 will go sweet. I also said the earlier order, the order we I first gave, should not have been granted at all. I am sorry. I am sorry. Nigeria, the spoil they go. I'm not going to join the spoiler. The outcome, ADC activities in Castina resume immediately. Seen as wait for David Mark-led leadership. 3. Policy scheme economy. They say what thing they see for Nigeria now. Now policy scheme mode. Now professor talk one professor, well respected, popular, brain say I don't study Nigeria economy when this government they run. Now policy scheme. In the beginning, they did sweet, later story. Now the man with this part with Tommy, political economist, professor of entrepreneurship. He say he don't study and policy scheme. See now, Nigeria will soon be in deep trouble. They are using the same explanations, but we are not seeing the investments that will drive the promised growth. They promise us growth in the name of renewed hope. It don't touch lighter. Say the investment where it go bring about the promised growth. You know, say because of that, una go soon express shit. Will go worse. This cry at the beginning of sorrow, beginning of lamentation. It is like a policy scheme. Now in the talk so, not be me. Now in the talk so. They move away from the Nigerian people and sought external validation. You know the people where they chop food, but say the food sweet or you know sweet. Me and they chop food like this. I say they bitter. Now go ask Americans. British say the food we are cook for Nigerians, is it sweet or you know sweet? Let me go talk out. They moved away from the Nigerian people and sought external validation from Washington and Paris, forgetting the people at home. Investment flow from savings. Nigerians have no savings anymore. So who will invest? So where is the investment that will drive the promised growth? Now, economists, they talk so. Professor, you don't just remove subsidies and cripple the people. That creates double jeopardy. If they analyze the economy. Because all of them thought they go remove subsidy. Somebody thought say before you go remove subsidy, you go make sure say go put some subsidies on ground. This was the first day. You don't know what they ground. It's removed. That is called Agbero announcement. Just announced. He thought that the policies have been against ordinary Nigerians. Poverty is increasing. Inequality is widening. And the benefits they promised have not come. The renewed hope, we are not seeing anything. No wonder Aregbesola yesterday gave a powerful speech. Even me, I laugh at that toilet. Say, Tinubu go say, now Aregbesola be this. We are carried from nowhere. Make a governor. Yes. You know Tinubu aware. Now, best way you know Tinubu is Sabian. See what he talk about it. Renewed hope agenda is calm. Resemble policy scheme. The other one talk. Tinubu should resign. Imagine say Aregbesola, where they say he no good, where they say he was a failure in Osun State. Because the tell say make he resign, say as can they do like this. As ability for pass, person where Aregbesola better pass. Just imagine. See what they talk now?
The APC is a party which has foisted on the country an electoral law that states forgery and making false claims in electoral documents is no longer a punishable electoral offense. In other words, the ruling party is decriminalizing criminality.
But I'm running for an election where the person contending, the person who the election was rigged for, has no certificates. Yes. He has no primary school certificate. But under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, the electoral law says that certificate forgery is not a crime. It's not a crime. So, meaning that I cannot go and forge certificates. All of us go and forge certificates. It is not a yardstick for you. Just go and forge certificates. All of us go and forge. Because forge certificate is not a yardstick for contesting election. Yeah. This is the danger that we have entered right now.
We proclaim our existence because our country is worth unnecessary sacrifices. We cannot allow kakistocracy in Nigeria. We cannot allow kakistocracy in Nigeria. The government's claim that the recent reduction in the exchange rate shows its mastery of economics. This is false. In truth, the exchange rate, which was about 700 naira to the dollar at the open market, not the official, at the open market. When this government assumed office in 2023, is now about 1,400. This amount to a 100% devaluation in an import-dependent economy. This is terribly devastating. The cost of a liter of fuel was before this administration between 185 and 238 naira, depending on the part of country you are. Now it is about 1,400 per liter and still rising. Cost of transportation is now so prohibitive that it has become unrealistic for some workers to go to work. The administration told Nigerians that if it does not solve the power problem by providing constant power supply, it should not be voted for a second term. Today, power supply is far worse, with some parts of the country receiving an average of 2 hours daily, and some being in darkness for a stretch of weeks and months. Ordinarily, having made such a promise and failed woefully, an honest president should simply step down and not seek re-election. ADC! Rather, what we are witnessing is the most desperate attempt by a candidate in the Nigerian electoral history to retain power at all costs, even if it means bringing down the entire democratic system. Distinguished delegates and our rival leaders, 4 years ago, this government promised Nigerians renewed hope. Now, 3 years into its 4-year term or tenure, it is still promising renewed hope. When exactly will this hope come into fruition? The answer is simple. It is a scam. The answer is what? A scam. If allowed, this regime will continue chanting renewed hope to eternity. We have the duty to stop scammers from retaining power. ADC! We have the duty to stop these scammers from retaining power. ADC!
Look at us. Say na scam. It is a scam. Now, as I was preparing for this class, I saw something which I'm not asking myself, is this a confirmation? See now, breaking. Nigeria's inflation climbs to 50.38%. It the worst. Tommy Stock say he no see any investment where it could drive the promised change, the promised hope. Not today ground, no service. Today, channels, the reporter, see 1 hour. They say this renew hope. Now inflation, the carriers go, everything they about. Look at Obiso. Buhari with subsidy, added with 87 trillion as debt in 8 good years. 87 trillion. Tinubu without subsidy. Don't come on subsidy. No, we talk say the federal government is paying the subsidy. That's why we don't have money. I need to borrow. Without subsidy, in just 3 years, 3 good years, the man don't collect 200 trillion debt. It does without anything to show for it. Where is the money going to? They say the budget of 2023 not fully implemented. 2024 not fully implemented. 2025, even Ministry of Health talks say out of how many billion? Now 36 million they give them. 36 million where old boy just dash them. Now they expect anything good. Pitiful now. 4, to the extent that the Ghana president say they pray for Nigeria, who could get our act right. We want Nigeria to do well so that 1 million of them don't come drifting into a small country like Ghana. Every day I pray to God, let Nigeria get their act together. Who is he referring to? Now me, I'm going to be president. Nothing, you know what talk direct. This is a diplomatic talk. See now.
Nigeria is of keen security interest to us. If Nigeria does well, Ghana does well. I mean, when you have cousins, 250 million of them, you want them to do well so that 1 million of them don't come drifting towards a small country like Ghana So every day I wake up, I pray for Nigeria. I said, God, let Nigeria get their act together.
If the same Nigeria get their acts together, we're gonna get that right. Who did they talk to soon? You know what? Talk direct, diplomatically. Make the president of Nigeria get himself reason well and do the right thing for the people of Nigeria. Say otherwise, the inflow to Ghana from Nigeria will too much. Remember, say Ghana was just going down. Now this man enter. Now Ghana is climbing. 5. APC defending APC. That's what I'm saying. Listen now.
Then they changed and said, okay, let us attack the people going to do the election. And they brought out a tweet where they said the chairman of INEC said victory is sure. But he didn't say victory is sure for APC. He did not say victory is sure for PDP. He just said victory is sure. And the man said that it's manipulated. Nobody wants to hear. But for me, whether manipulated or not, he said victory is sure. He was not chairman of INEC. He was just a mere lecturer. Anybody can support anybody who wishes to.
How people go talk say INEC chairman? INEC chairman. No actually said anything bad. He only talk say victory is sure. Victory is sure for who? Somebody was saying, I was able to convince the people and they voted massively for APC. Another person called say victory is sure. Akpabio is saying, after they don't disturb Tinubu here and there, they call ETA INEC chairman to use them attack Tinubu. Our attack on INEC chairman will be attack on Tinubu. The man I use the attack now, my adult now, not be Tinubu picking. It means say they are one. Indirectly, APC defending APC. See also. According to Shaware, federal commissioners are APC members. Most of the judges in the Supreme Court are APC members. Tinubu can never organize a free and fair election. Somebody whose name is not his name, whose secondary school was not established after he graduated. Listen now.
Calling for his resignation.
You guys are late to the game. I was the first person who came out of a meeting with him and told Nigerians that the man is even going to be worse than the last one, based on my perception of him sitting up there. But the INEC chairman is not the only person who is in the APC. All the INEC commissioners are APC members, federal commissioners. Most of the INEC, what they call state electoral commissioners, are APC members. Go and check. Most of the judges in the Supreme Court are APC members. So if you want to clean the audience table, let it be at once. Don't pick and choose. You know, this idea of who do you expect Tinubu to appoint as INEC chairman? His enemy. He's going to appoint his friend now. And I said upstairs, the people who are asking Tinubu to remove Amukwita are proposing their own candidates to replace him so that that person too can favor them. That's confusion. The solution is to have a system in place where the president who is contesting in an election. Maybe what we should do is to say, look, there must be a body in this country that looks for a credible person, and the person is scrutinized by the public. There's a public hearing about them for weeks, like they do in the US. You want to become a Supreme Court judge in the US, they will scrutinize you from secondary school, primary school, all your girlfriends that you have forgotten, they will come out and tell the story about you. Then the parliament can then decide, and then there will be judicial scrutiny. But this one, they will just say, oh, he has gone for scrutiny at the DSS. Who appointed the DSS person who is scrutinized is not the same Tinubu. They're all together. So don't let us be confused and waste our time on what I call inanities. If he was going to appoint the person who will favor him. And as I stated, and I'll say it again, Tinubu can never organize a free and fair election. It's not possible. He has never done it before, and he will not do it now. It's not in his character to do anything that is fair. Yes, somebody whose name is not his name, whose secondary school that he went to was established after he graduated from there. You know, the daughter is almost his age. You know, so his elder brother, who died, I think 2 years ago, was 93 years old. But he didn't attend his burial because he didn't want people to know that that's his elder brother. What are you going to do with the ones that are here now?
So nothing like that. If you are expecting a free affair election, you are sleeping, you are dreaming. That's why if people they talk say nobody deal with Tinubu. Free affair election. So people they ask now say, why is Deji silent on Obi? Deji, why they yap Obi? Obi na this, Obi na fraud, Obi na that. See now, I have noticed that Barrister Deji Adeaju no longer talk about Peter Obi. What happened? People couldn't reply. I said same thing 2 weeks ago. Now you are echoing it. It has been humbled. When you don't have deep reflection before reacting, you are likely to regret the outcome. Since when they serve on paper, it's not by force. This one thought say, Pio Sudin had transferred the case to Onitsha. The man imagined how many times he will have to travel to Onitsha. He just settled the case back door. I'm not sure what the statement is, but wait till I shall be say, if matter they say court, you were a sue or you were a sue person. We will talk again concerning that matter. OT, the judge matter. Okay? Just to correct some people say they you just silent. They did not go feel silent too because of the court matter. Okay? 8. They say one woman they pregnant. Now the woman go for scan. They saw 2 babies, twins. Now this woman they expect. Now so madam, eta labor, deliver, doctor say na one is you. Come and say quarry. You see also? Doctor, according to Nigeria, doctor say now only one. Madam talk say provide the other one dead or alive, and twins are carried. This is the scam. You saw the scam, Abi? Nigeria, everybody they desperate to. Anyway, just see also say some of this country matter and just renew hope. Renew hope. According to Aregbesola, I say na scam.
Na scam. Na scam.
They scam now with renew hope. But they believe, nothing go up. But the reality, since the day was, party 2 may talk say, don't say I'm on a position. What do you think?
Okay, guys, let's move to our next whatever. Here we go. And yeah, I did notice that I notice say Donaza don't create another account. Oh, now for it dedicated to article. Wow. I'm going to subscribe. I saw it, I think this morning. I have to subscribe. Yeah, Donaza are my favorite analysts. Are you kidding me? The way they break and down with that in PG. To say that they teach children with PG for you, maybe I for the carry first for class instead of the struggle when I struggle for school for Nigeria. I for the carry first. I for beat Kene for mathematics. I for beat Natu for economics. I for even beat Make for engineering. If to say that this broken English that they teach us. Seed, I for beat you for your profession. Oh my goodness. I'm sure you guys are laughing. Mark, welcome. The clip of our actor friend. Yeah, I saw I played a clip. I played his Channels News interview. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. I don't know if that's the one you're talking. Mark, leave me. Anyway, let's get into it. When I know say Prophet Elisa Buba don't establish community police. Kudos to the man. I hope every community leader will follow suit. The man don't organize community police. So he say, see him, he don't organize them. I think there's a video of it as well. I don't have it right now. But anyway, now people want to listen and laugh you want to laugh at this interview with Arabambi? Let's just listen. I want to annoy you people.
In terms of the Nenadi will try, but Obi can never come back to Labour Party.
I don't know.
Because we have an agreement even with Governor Lalesoti. Because of the intractable crisis, because of what has happened in Labour Party, we have all settled that we will support the second term ambition of Mr. President, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Only while we will support all our governors, all our senators, all our House of Rep. But Nenadi insisted on bringing Obi back into the Labour Party, and that is not going to be possible. She should perish that thought. No matter whosoever that is sponsoring her, she should perish that thought that Peter Obi will come back into the Labour Party because she was domiciled into the Labour Party by Peter Obi. We know that from inception because she was part and parcel of the Peter Obi campaign team in the finance department. So for her to think that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not come back and she will want to use the Labour Party to bring Peter Obi, despite the kind of crisis that Obi caused, Obi fomented in Labour Party. You still think that Obi should come and run for president in Labour Party because she knows Obi can never pick the ADC ticket. All of you were there in their convention when he said, when you monetize, when you dollarize, when you monetize something, he's not going to be part of it. There's no way you go for a convention, you expect all the delegates all the delegates to go and sell their house and buy a flight ticket to come to Abuja to come and elect you. The kind of mumu, that we consider we gave him when he came to Labour Party. It's not going to work. So Nenadi is just an appendage of Peter Obi. She's only deceiving herself. She wanted to be as our Labour Party president candidate, and that is not going to work. Abure and Governor Lesotho have all agreed. In principle, I am on here now that we will return, we will support Bola Ahmed Tinubu because this presidency belongs to Southwest, it's not to the South. Because she came with a fictitious news the other day that, Labour Party is not the presidency to South. No, it is to Southwest because it is our own turn to complete the 8 years. Obi has his time, but rather Obi messes up that time with some human rights and beast and dodo activity in person of Aisha Yusufu. They were the one that messes that election up. It wasn't Tinubu that made us to lose 4.7 million votes from 53,000 polling units where they failed to feed agents, in the 2023 election. So we will not be beaten the second time. Once beaten twice shy, we are not going to allow anybody to beat up for the second time. So the issue, why they are trying this nonsense is that we have agreed. Governor Lesotho has agreed with the Abure, National Committee that all of us are going to work for the emergence of, President Tinubu for another 4 years.
Una here. Meanwhile, they have Nafiu. Apparently, Nafiu Bala, APC has kicked him out. He's no longer in their good books. So he crawled out with his tail between his legs to reach out to some of the elder statesmen in the north in an attempt to reconcile with the ADC coalition leaders. The ADC coalition leaders said, get out of here. Get out of here. Say he has already been expelled because they expelled him during the convention and he's no longer a member of the party. They said they would not reconcile with a traitor and a pathological liar like him, who has no honor and cannot keep his word. See, your rise to fame, even last 10 seconds. You see, greed. This is the result of your greed. Anyway, let's move on.
At this time, do you think it's possible?
I don't think there's leadership crisis between the party. It is being instigated in all the parties, not just this one, whether it's in PDP, in ADC, in Labour, we are left to come into this one because we're chasing me. In MPP, where Punk was so left, it's the same thing. They don't want opposition because they have run the country aground and want to ensure that everything collapses completely. And we cannot allow it to consume everybody. So we need to bring back the country, unite it, ensure that the country functions for everybody. All we want in ADC is to have a country where a child of nobody can be somebody without knowing anybody. Create the level playing field. And that's what we want to do.
And Your Excellency, a lot of your teaming supporters across the country have been, willing to ask you, are you going to run as a presidential candidate on this party?
Definitely. I'm running as a presidential candidate.
So you are going to run?
And I've always said it. I will change this country.
I hear it, my president. Okay. Okay. Mona, see my president.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3. A new Nigeria is. A new Nigeria is. A new Nigeria is. Yes.
Why did I finish? Where I finish? No. See the center here. That's the international officer. No. Center of the post. Yes. Then
it will be now. Wow. Una go here, una go learn Nigeria when this man enter. Go discipline una. Come.
Gideon, look at our home.
Oh, back to shoot. And Nigeria is. And Nigeria is. Yeah. Impossible.
Vice president to anybody. I say it from a place of authority. Peter Obi is not going to be vice president to anybody. I say it from a place of authority. You know, I don't know if I want to talk and maybe I'm not going to be disrespectful because I don't know the idiots who they share that news around and say Peter Obi go do vice. Peter Obi, for me to campaign for Peter Obi, the person I know is more qualified. The person we all know has the capacity, but maybe because he will not share money, he will not be corrupt, and then you want to come and put him in vice president. For me to campaign for Peter Obi, someone who was supposed to be our president since, to come and campaign for him now.
Wait, Natu, so they use lie. Tell us more. The lies when they cook up against the north, cook up lies against the southeast for north. A lot of information they stroll in. Kwankwasia movement don't carry Peter Obi for head like say that they hawk akara, hot one. They use lie deceive us for north. Say if we ever vote Igbo, them go create Biafra state. Can you imagine? You know, see real street credibility or seed. Honestly, everything that was hidden, lies, all the propaganda is being exposed now. Can your principal ever show us your principal? Not too much talk. I beg. Jagabam, he's not sleeping anymore, Mark. He cannot sleep. Days ahead will be interesting. Atiku and some big names were suspended by some strange other. Yeah, that's what I heard. Baba is deeply worried. The way this Mama P, they give me joy, I know. P.O. go win primary, no, hands down. We stay here now. We go nowhere. We'll continue.
As vice president, I'll sit in my house and do nothing. I'll look for a Ghana and move. In fact, I will go and stay in Ethiopia. My fans go fund them, no worry. Do you even think that Peter Obi will do vice president? Oh, for juju they use you now. My doctor said I shouldn't shout so I can get my voice fully back. I'm having a very bad sore throat. That's why since I've been trying not to talk too much. But some of you are mad. Whoever is sharing that news, say Peter Obi has decided to be vice president because I've been getting calls. That way people discuss in the convention. Who go kill that person? Don't have sense. The man has said it that I will not do vice presidency. I didn't travel around the world, sit with presidents to come and be a vice president. But somehow, the juju where they worry you not the hear word. Somehow. Somehow, your brain, they use a miss no drink, you know the year. He say, I not go be vice president. Who they even they share their news? One attack them for comment section. You they craze. You think we are breaking our bodies? Nigerians who have never been interested in political party are getting registered into the ADC. See my skin, these people everywhere. The one that wait till they happen. My voice break all my body. You think? And it's not just me. There are many others booking their flights, getting involved. You think I'm doing all this thing because Peter Obi can't do? Pah! Don't let me kill that person, kill all of now when they share that news. He say no do. Goats. I don't wake up from sleep. Now my mama call me. How did it go? They say he has agreed. Who agree? People they craze for this internet too. A lot of people are mad. Kindly disregard the news, guys. I don't even have strength to cause today's no. I just want today to pass and say holidays. Tomorrow I resume. Kindly disregard any news. We are going for the best. The person that has the competence, the character, the person that has been consistent is ready to fix Nigeria. You think we are here to play? Bring any other candidate that's not Peter Obi and watch ADC fail. Some people go from where the Tinubu can pass the people who with Tinubu. Yeah, I should just try and play with people. I want them mad goats. Sorry, good evening, trenches. Help me share this video. Nonsense.
See, wow. Now, since you were a little girl, can you imagine? You see how they destroyed, you see how they create an enmity between us in Nigeria? This is how they create the enmity. Imagine, since you were young, you keep hearing the same thing. It will stick. When you see the people, you will assume that, oh, these are your biggest enemies. Honestly, I'm very grateful for the last election. I'm happy that Tinubu entered because Tinubu as soon as he came in, all the lies that have been told were completely exposed. Everyone that would have gone to their graves in honor, now disgrace, they'll take go grave. All your so-called leaders, Nobel laureates, them, all your Babajios and the rest of them, all of them don't fall flat on the ground. You see, lies when they take destroy people within Nigeria, put people against each other. You see, tell me now, why people not go act a certain way? When you see them acting a certain way towards you, you'll be wondering why. Your government was sponsoring it actively. The solution to Nigeria's problem is in the east. If you not like, no na hit una head for war. That is where the solution is. You see this Peter Obi, he go enter, ain't nobody that's going to stop it. All the lies, all the propaganda, everything will die natural death. Nigeria needs to be rebuilt from the scratch. The man's plan for the north alone, be like say me go move come the north too, because nobody now go the jollof. That Peter Obi's plan for the north alone is staggering. You need to see north. I said no, more now go Facebook. People have been sharing clips from Facebook with me. Now say these people don't collect Obi for our hand though. Sat una sabi run things. I give it to the northerners. Northerners sabi this politics die. Mona go learn from northerners, man. Politics. Oh, I'm telling you. If you see as they hawk Peter Obi like hot gala, I say, wow, these people don't outrun us. So forget South. Una say una carry Obi, una not carry am o. Una go learn from North. If you see the way that they sell Peter Obi, if you see the gbas when they give each other, oh my God. Una not watch una not see where Donaza show one when he say, even if na Nnamdi Kanu they bring you go vote. This is how much so that they drag each other. One say if he catch him for around the area, they talk about APC. One of them go report to God. I'm telling you. Not see this town crier when carry bear, they go market, they preach against APC. Sat, how many una do reach that one? These people are everywhere preaching. Una say una carry Peter Obi. Una no market Peter Obi reach North now. Una not get Peter Obi for this election. Mona wash hand and not. Mona continue to they do una market, but na not get Peter Obi this time around. So anyway, let's move forward. More videos. More now listen to this jam.
Look this time. Step aside for Nigeria. Atiku, with due respect. This is the voice of the people. Nigeria is calling. Atiku know this time. Hear the nation cry. We watch the years go by. Still we wonder why. You stood before the people again and again. But the answer has been clear from the voices of men. You have served this country. We will not deny your efforts and your labor. History can testify. But there comes a moment when a man must see it's time to lift another for the nation to be free. How many times will you stand when the people say they understand? There's a better way, a different plan for the future of this land. Atiku know this time. Step aside for Nigeria. Let the people rise. Let the hope come alive. Atiku know this time. Hear the voice of Nigeria. Be a father, be a guide. Do the right thing. Step aside. Woo! You're a statesman, that is true. A name we respect. But true honor shows in the choices you make next. Many voices calling you. Let the young one lead. This is not about power. It's about the people's need. What is it you seek now that hasn't been done? Why not raise the hand of the people's chosen one? Wisdom listens when the many voices speak. Strength is not on, but knowing when to release. So think about tomorrow's child. Think about this. Every step you take today shapes the world they'll live inside. Atiku know this time. Step aside for Nigeria. Let the people rise. Let the hope come alive. Atiku know this time. Hear the voice of Nigeria. Be a father, be a guy. Do the right thing, step aside. History will remember this. The moment you chose legacy. Not for self, not for pride, but for truth and unity. Let your name be written bright in the story of what is right. This is your day. But by your power to let go. I think you know this time. Not this time. Yeah. Step aside for Nigeria. Nigeria. Let the people rise. Let them rise. Let the hope come alive. I think you know this time. Hear the voice of Nigeria. Be a father. Be a guy, do the right thing, step aside.
Omo 2027 go mad. Hey. Omo, once they just announce that ticket. Hey, I'm telling you. It's not natural. Yeah, this is the first time Natu is saying this. So Natu has never said this before. Wow. Natu, thank you for sharing. No, honestly, really truly appreciate. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that was a, even though he still won last year, we know he won, but I'm glad that, yeah, as much as we hated the fact that they stole it from Peter Obi, but it's been a blessing. A lot of exposing has happened. A lot of the hatred that was inbuilt in that country, the evil has just been exposed. I'm telling you. And we needed this to happen. Before we can move forward, this needed to be exposed. There's no way we can move forward with this. There's no way. Healing needs to take place in that country. Too much evil has gone on. Not don't take, they don't collect Peter Obi from our hand, though. Mobilization say na not me go move go when Peter Obi win. Abeg, mo na no vex. Sat. I'll go near Hausa by force. Abeg go, because like say their own jollof no go be here.
Yeah, my fellow Nigerians, I hope you know that Tinubu will reach 2027. No, you know, right?
Yep.
We all must be prepared for that. Because whatever you do, be prepared to fight against rigging. Because without rigging, Tinubu APC will be very embarrassed. They will be humiliated. So they will not want that to happen, and they will not just rig to make it a respectable defeat, but they will rig to win. And if you know this must not be a repetition of where the failed Professor Mahmoud Yakubu told Nigerians that he's going to conduct the best election. Election will be transmitted in real life. We all believed him, we relied on it, and we lose guard. Before we know, they took us unaware, called the result by 4 a.m. while we are still asleep, and nothing happens. 2027 must not be like that. Now have it at the back of your mind that Tinubu and APC will rig election. Oh, now be prepared for your reaction. That is simple. Now, do you know that this country can actually have a protest locking the country down without you and I being outside? We're going to introduce a different form of protest come 2027 if they try rubbish. Let's be very honest. It's going to be a protest of the cars. Every major road in the country will be blocked using our cars, and nobody will be there. There'll be no movement. So that fear because the fear of the shot at us when we are at Lekki Tollgate is still in the minds of many Nigerians. The reason why so many are afraid to really hit the street on a protest. I've spoken to one or two persons in several cases. They will tell you, you not see what they do for Lekki, this will they not get hard to, but don't worry. Every problem, they say, have a solution. 2027 protest is going to be like you never seen before. If you have a lorry that's no longer functioning, we'll push it, block the road, block your street, block every road in the country, and we'll all be in our houses until they do the right thing. But meanwhile, as we approach 2027, we'll discuss more about all of this and we'll perfect our plan adequately. As they are planning to rig, you'll be planning as well. This is not going to be a repeat of 2023, like I said before, where we were overwhelmingly taken unaware. That rubbish must not continue. Tinubu will rig 2027. He can only rig election. But you that is aware now, be prepared for it. You get the point now. And the first line of defense is if ADC give Obi the ticket, we will all go out to overwhelmingly and massively vote for him. Because it's that vote you're going to have as your weapon. We will overwhelmingly vote against Tinubu, as in give him 0-0-0-0 across polling units. Let's see how the manipulation will start. But even at that, they will still write result, and they will have reasons to do whatever we have in mind. You get the point now. Be ready, okay?
The protesters accused INEC of interfering in the internal affairs of the party, describing recent developments as unconstitutional and capable of destabilizing the ADC. Speaking during the demonstration at the INEC office in Lagos, the party's Southwest chairman, George Ashuru, backed the protesting youths, saying their action was justified. He explained that the process was triggered by what he described as an unfortunate pronouncement by the INEC chairman in Abuja, which allegedly left the party without a recognized leadership structure. According to him, the situation was created uncertainty and is affecting the party's ability to meet the key electoral timelines.
So we are here to ensure that the protest is peaceful and that their demands are received and that it's established that as youths, they are not happy, and as a party, we are not happy. And that will help the regulatory organ to begin to review the manner and the mannerism in which they adjudicate anything that concerns ADC while the matter is in court. So making a pronouncement that was not expressly stated by the courts is what we are here to support the youths in the agitation for a review of that decision.
The state ADC youth leader, Olarewaju Oretoluwa, alleged that INEC removed the names of the party's National Working Committee from its official records. He warned that the protest will continue, with more supporters expected to join in the coming days. Oretoluwa added that the next phase of the protest will coincide with a scheduled court hearing on the matter.
This protest, we are sending it as a signal to the INEC chairman and also to the courts, because we are not protesting because of ADC alone. It can happen to anybody. We are protesting because of Nigerians, because of the poor masses in Nigerians. So ADC is a party to reckon with. ADC is a friend. But it's a friendly party, it's a youth-friendly party.
ADC is not recognized by INEC. That is why we have come voice and to ask that all our National Working Committee, most especially Senator David Mark and Rauf Aregbesola, is being reinstated back into the INEC portal. And 2027 shouldn't be compromised by INEC. INEC does not have the right to interpret a court order.
Development highlights growing concerns over internal party crisis and the role of electoral institutions in Nigeria's democratic process. As tensions persist, stakeholders are now looking to the courts for clarity and resolution of the leadership disputes within the ADC.
Hold on 1 second. Okay. Mona, listen to this.
It's Big Lion. I see why you. Just in case you don't forget. Me, I no forget. My people no fee forget. Now for your era, people they die pass. Now for your era, petrol price high pass. Now for your era, school down to scam. Now for your era, insecurity high pass. Now for your era, people they cry pass. Now for your era, hungry they beat us fast. Now for your era, mama they body picking. Die, I see why you. You promise us safety. You promise us good life. You promise us good road. You promise us heaven on earth. But right now, we no fit sleep again. Children no fit go school again. Bandit they kidnap children. We go school every day. Kidnappers no they cover their face again. Papa and mama no fear for school fees again. Farmers no fit go farm again. Workers no fit go work again. Mama they body picky they bury. Mama they no even see papa head again. I go put them to your face. I don't care if me and you go get case. Cause this matter won't make me crazy. Jagaban, you be failure. Everything about your era and a failure. In our next generation, we rather not have a president than to have a failure. You fail me, my family. You fail my people, you fail all my generation. To fear power, we pour spit for your face. Nigeria don't turn to zoo. Because of yeah.
Okay. Mona, see you.
This is INEC, and you're seeing Renew Hope. Inside INEC, this is INEC. This is INEC, INEC River State, and you're seeing Renew Hope. Moto, park inside INEC. INEC, oh, Renew Hope, moto. ADC, oh, no day. PDP, oh, no day. Only Tinubu boss, now they park inside INEC. What is it telling you? They know! Hello. Inside INEC, this is INEC, and you're seeing Renew Hope. Inside INEC.
Anyway.
Our great grandfather, Hey Atiku,
if they talk, say, in go contest again. Atiku the spoiler.
The election comes around in 2027.
Our
You'll
grandpa.
be 80. Respectfully, I mean, this may be your last realistic shot at the presidency. Does that make the stakes higher for you this time?
Certainly, yes. Because the stakes are higher because I believe that will be my last outing. And
so that's incontrovertible.
That's incontrovertible.
Fact.
That
Okay. Right. So
Atiku won't come back to do what? To contest certain time. That shows Atiku is a very selfish man. He's a selfish leader. How can Atiku be thinking of coming back? Abba, where's the energy? Why are we saying Tinubu is not doing well? Because he's a bit slow. And the population, over 70%, are below 50, below 60. What is going on? This is selfishness. You contesting again. You don't try. Even the president where they there now, Tinubu, don't try to make you president. You failed, sir. And when you are there, you got $16 billion. Up till now, no light to Abi generator day your house, sir. Abba, why do you want to be a spoiler again? It is certain time. Allow us to have our 8 years. That is being selfish. And you are trying. Atiku coming to be on the ballot means Atiku is working for Tinubu. Because Atiku's son already is with Tinubu. Because why will Atiku want to come back when we still have 4 years? South. Abba. Grandpa, you are selfish. And selfishness is a sin. Make you not beg God, make He forgive you. Don't be a spoiler. Join us to build a new Nigeria. You and I know that Atiku on the ballot, Tinubu already don't win because so many people won't vote for you. Obi, I beg, if you know what you are doing in the next few days, if they cannot zone presidency in ADC to South, leave that party right now, Peter Obi. I beg you.
Not true. Is our feeling. If Peter Obi enter inside wetin they call pure water party, we go follow am. Anywhere he go, una not take us play, oh. Una not take us play at all. So anyway, this guy, they threatened him because of the music that he released. Okay, that music I played for you guys, they can't threaten her. APC people can't they threaten her. APC members and people in government, they started threatening him, said APC members and the people in government have started threatening me because of this song I made about Tinubu's failed government. At this point, whatever wants to happen should happen. I'm not scared of anyone and I will not take down the music. They were threatening him to take it down. More. If you see my timeline on Twitter, hey God, Nigerians have woken up. Oh. You see all this work when they do has not been in vain. Oh, my people, make una clap for ourselves. So I'm telling you, my Twitter yesterday, anybody ask any dumb question on Twitter, you know how they do this silly thing on Twitter, like blue what's it called, black or white, bedroom or something. Everybody they reply with Tinubu must go. If Tinubu leaves, my life will be better. They not see a picture of jollof rice. Which one will you pick? One person say, if you vote, if Tinubu does not go, I will not be able to afford this. Everything. Tinubu must go. Tinubu must go. Amo Peter must. Hey God, I see what they happen. Am I living in an alternate reality? Maybe APC not even try read this election. It go too much. See, Nigerians before and after 11 years of APC. See Barney and see fresh. See this Barney. Oh wicked people. See Barney before 11 years of APC. See Barney after. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. It was stuff like this you were seeing. Everything was about they made it about APC. Now, look at this. I have to read this tweet for you people. This person, this is a conversation with his parents. Okay? He said, "Good morning, everybody." This is to their, I think, group Instagram or whatever. He said, "Good morning, everybody. I hope we are all doing fine. This year, I think it's important that we hold our parents accountable for the decisions that affect our future. Many of our parents are currently supporting APC, and it's important we respectfully have conversations with them about the consequences of these choices, because it is you and I who will mostly live with the outcomes. A lot of them are already retired and have built their homes, so the impact on them may be limited, but we still have our future ahead of us, and the direction of the country will affect our opportunities, safety, and quality of life. You and I are literally one unfortunate accident away from being taken to a hospital that may not even have basic oxygen, one security incident away, one small encounter with police brutality away. All of you understand what this means. You may feel like it doesn't concern you. He say, you and I are literally, okay, I went through that. You may feel it doesn't concern you until it eventually reaches your doorstep. We keep praying, may Nigeria not happen to you. If these people enter 2027, I cannot begin to tell you how colossally messed up we will be. A word is enough for the wise. Let's try to engage our parents in honest, respectful conversations and encourage them to consider how their choices shape the future we live in. Everybody should hold their parents accountable." This na Gen Z people now they mobilize this thing. Oh my goodness. Una see all these people, all sexy mama yepa, all these people, they know they do all this political thing before. Everybody don't wake up. See, Tinubu and gang must go. These are just some of the ones I saved up. I said, let me share with you guys. Now, Atiku's son come put poll. He say, what resonated more with you after AA's interview? Omo, need to see the comment section. Let me read some of the comments for you people. Now only 20K views, even after 24 hours. Only 270 votes. Anyway, he say nothing. Person say, Ochman 22 say nothing. Village Malam say he's living in denial of present reality. It is Obi Kwankwaso. Now Atiku son respond, say, how is the registration going? Now direct primaries, oh. We are ready for direct primaries, not inspiring in context. Okay? Shehu, couple of questions. Why would 2027 be Atiku's last bid? Is the PR lobbying firm with $1.2 million for Atiku or for ADC? Because they only promote Atiku with no other posts on about ADC or other coalition leaders. 3, when will he retire, as age is telling on him in that interview? Atiku Sokoto say, no, this one is for him. Okay, that's one person that was for him. Then this person now responded, Obum responded, says, 4 hours later, 50 likes, 24 reposts, 6 quotes. His selfish ambition will keep making him unpopular, both online, offline. You people should stop deceiving him so that he can retire from politics as a fulfilled man. This one say he should wake up, it's over. He had the clearest path to presidency during the time Bola was contesting. He could have supported him and given him a weak VP. What resonates with me is that he will continue to contest after 2027 and you won't tell him the truth. Man, only 1 or 2 comments that were for him. The rest, negative. I'm sure the guy is regretting and wondering and asking himself why he even bothered to ask. Because nobody had positive anything for him. Nobody. Now, look at it. Zamu Basun Kunya, ADC, arise and shine in Hausa. See them, they protest. See them. My mad go. All right. Let's see. Now, these people in Lagos Island, no water, nothing, right? Somebody posted and said, in the whole of Lagos Island, we don't have water to fetch water. We spent 3,000 and it's by begging. We need help. This is the indigenous of Lagos Island. They recount their water crisis, right? Now, somebody now responded, Lagos Island indigene here, do not pity these people. They will vote APC every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Scam alert. We'll come back to that later. I saved some more videos that I wanted to share. I no save them. What's going on? Why am I seeing the same results from yesterday? Maybe I didn't save them all. I don't know. There were a couple of videos that I saved and I wanted to share with you guys. Be like, say the thing, no, you know, save. Najatu Mohammed, that woman, a fire. Oh my God! If they not made that woman spokeswoman, I go vex. So that woman, with that kind of level of fire, now we need it. Emir Saddam says ADC may conduct direct primary, sign up, mobilize, and let's vote him as the candidate. Power is not served a la carte. Una don't register. You people with NIN, have you already registered with ADCO? This is all the Obedients are saying is that ADC should consider competence, character, and compassion, as well as prudence and a lifestyle that Nigeria can afford. A ticket that will motivate and also create unity among the South and the North. That's what we want, man. Because una don't too lie. Una don't use lie to destroy lives for Nigeria. Put the North against the Southeast for far too long. Omo, make I save this thing. Omo, abemo na no verse. See now, new this thing don't come out. I can't be found lagging, no. Abeg make I save am sharp. Okay, all right, let me do this. Actually, what I will do is save this. All right, well, guys, let me wrap it up here. I think we have covered what we need to cover. That one important pass. Make I see me I catch up with an comment. Above all, the former governor of Kano somehow have similar mannerism with PO, other than politics, is approachable among all upper, middle, and lower class. How can there be election without opposition? My sister, if you ask me, who I go ask? We have not played your actor friend dancing. I played it, oh, you were not here, Mark. You were not here. We are playing you. Are you okay now? No problem. Since you feel that way. Oh my goodness. He's talking about Kenneth Okonkwo. They don't drag with Kenneth Okonkwo since. If Kenneth Okonkwo do good, I go bring her here. If not like, it mark like if you like cry. All of us not sleep, put head in the same place. There are times he says what is, apart from everybody can goof. He goofed, okay. But at least it's still there. And he's free to choose whoever he wants to choose. If he wants to go with Atiku, that's his problem. But with me, I'm standing with Peter Obi. So all of us here, we are standing for Peter Obi. So he only one loss, only one vote now he gets. Maybe if he too much in family members, finish. So when I tell una say Gen Z and Gen Alpha go fix Nigeria, una think say na play. I'm telling you. In fact, they don't carry the matter for head now. Oh my God. Now you sabi some local Easter drummers. Whatever. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate. We go see again now. We'll continue. Election don't start. Not to ramp them up now. I remain. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I hope you enjoy your day. Natu, thank you for stopping by. Mark, thank you. Michael, Sid, Kene, everyone that was able to join. Please like on your way out. We go. Mona sensitize on people. Mona go register for ADC. We need numbers. Thank you. Bye.